Good morning and welcome to the New York City Council hearing of the Committee on Hospitals. At this time, can everybody please silence your cell phones? If you wish to testify, please come up to the Sergeant at Arms desk to fill out a testimony slip. Written testimony can be emailed to testimony@council.nyc.gov. At this time and going forward, no one is to approach the dais. I repeat, no one is to approach the dais. Thank you for your cooperation. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Sorry. Good morning. I'm Council Member Mercedes Narcisse, Chair of the Hospital Committee. Thank you for joining us today for this committee's oversight hearing, which will address our city's healthcare staffing crisis. Specifically, we'll be discussing how the staffing crisis intersects with conditions in residency program for physician and nurse practitioners. Residency programs are an incredible, valuable element of our healthcare system. Medical residencies offer crucial hands-on experience to future physicians as they transition into medical practice. Residents provide direct care to patients in a variety of ways, from giving examinations, engaging in lab work, interpreting test results, to performing medical procedures, all while under the tutelage of experienced physicians. Nurse residency programs, while optional, have also served to improve the transition into medical practice by providing nurses with monthly seminars and on-the-job training to improve workers' confidence. It is therefore unsurprising that nurses who complete residency programs have much higher rates of retention, thereby saving hospitals the time, money, and resources needed to train new hires. In a time where hospitals are understaffed and in need of resources, it is apparent that retaining a qualified, knowledgeable workforce of nurses and physicians is a necessity to keep the city's healthcare system running. Residents in New York City face incredibly strenuous working conditions. According to the Committee of Interns and Residents, they can be required to work shifts that are up to 28 hours long, provided that the resident does not exceed 80 hours per week when averaged over 4 weeks. These long hours are especially alarming when studies have shown that residents who work over 48 hours per week are at double the risk of making medical errors. In addition to increasing medical risk for patients, residents themselves are affected by overwhelming condition. 50% develop burnout during training. From life experience, I can tell you that because I used to be an ER nurse, and my own son had to go to training. It's a tough one. And 1 in 4 residents develop clinical depression. Despite these long hours and unsustainable working conditions, the median salary of medical residents in the city falls at only $67,311. How do they pay the rent? And ever since their previous agreement expired in December of 2021, 2,300 residents are currently working without a contract. The current system is failing the city's residents by neglecting the medical residents who train here and by failing to retain these qualified individuals once their residency program are complete. We do our healthcare system a grave disservice. This council is committed to taking care of the nurses and doctors who in turn take such good care of us. We call them heroes during the height of the pandemic. We will work hard to ensure that these healthcare professionals are given safe working conditions, access to all necessary resources, and that they are paid what they deserve. Before I conclude, I want to thank all the committee staff, advocates, and community members who have contributed so much of their hard work and dedication to this issue. As a registered nurse, it is incredibly uplifting to see the hard work of advocates as they fight to improve working conditions for frontline workers. I extend my thanks to all of you for joining us today at this hearing. With that, we now all open representative from H&H. That will share their own remarks in a minute. So I turn it over to Emery for the oath.
Thank you, Chair. We will now hear testimony from the administration. Before we begin, I will administer the affirmation. So panelists, please raise your right hand. I will read the affirmation once and then call on each of you individually to respond. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this committee and to respond honestly to council member questions? Dr. Way?
I do.
Dr. Bell?
I do.
Thank you. You may begin.
All right. Good morning, Chairwoman Narcisse, esteemed members of the Committee of Hospitals. I am Eric Way, Senior Vice President, Chief Quality Officer at New York City Health and Hospitals. I also practice as an emergency medicine doctor across all 11 EDs in our system. I'm joined this morning by Dr. Donnie Bell, our System Deputy Chief Medical Officer, who's also a practicing neuroendovascular surgeon at Kings County. Thank you for the opportunity to testify regarding the residency programs at Health and Hospitals. While our health system represents just one facet of the broader healthcare delivery system and workforce landscape in our city, we take pride in what we do. Our resident fellow colleagues are essential members of our care team, enabling us to uphold a tradition of teaching in medicine and fulfill our mission of providing all New Yorkers with the opportunity to live their healthiest lives, regardless of their background or means. Our trainees, who share our values and mission, consistently deliver high-quality, compassionate care to our patients, serving as a crucial source of healthcare staffing across health and hospitals. We're proud to host a large graduate medical education program, which consists of about 2,400 trainee full-time equivalents who practice across 11 acute care facilities and a couple of our Gotham ambulatory sites. We offer residency and clinical fellowships in dozens of specialties and subspecialties, including anesthesia, cardiology, emergency medicine, geriatrics, internal medicine, OBGYN, pediatrics, and psychiatry. Furthermore, we host hundreds of medical students for their third and fourth year rotations. And we also offer an internship program for third and fourth year medical students to experience our mission at Health and Hospitals as part of our Mosaic Pathway program. There are over 70 H&H sponsored training programs, and we participate in over 340 different GME education programs. In addition to our own sponsored programs, we work with 13 sponsoring institutions and 7 medical school partners. With a notable increase in providers leaving or retiring and a widespread shortage of healthcare professionals nationwide, including at H&H, improving recruitment efforts is now even more essential. At Health and Hospitals, we recently established a new recruitment office dedicated to attracting new talent, retaining our resident fellow colleagues. Alongside our affiliates, we have organized job fairs tailored to our residents and fellows. Moreover, our training program faculty serve as mentors, guiding trainees in career planning, helping them secure fellowships, and maintaining post-residency fellowship relationships to facilitate recruitment back to our health system. Many of our trainees gain additional training at some of the country's top fellowship programs, including at NYU, Mount Sinai, Cornell, Columbia, Mass General Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, and UCLA, just to name a few. Notably, approximately 20%, 1 in 5 of our attending medical staff at Health and Hospitals are graduates of our residency training programs. We recognize that residency and fellowship can be demanding, juggling personal well-being, family, finances, clinical duties, and continuously learning. Personally, residency was by far the hardest thing I have ever done, and I believe most physicians feel that way. Therefore, it is crucial that we foster a supportive clinical learning environment. We offer a suite of wellness resources and activities, such as resident wellness work groups, dedicated spaces and retreats, social events, and our Helping Healers Heal, or H3 program, to address work-related stressors. Additionally, our programs include research fairs, American Medical Association membership, educational content, leadership opportunities, and avenues for trainees to voice concerns safely. Knowing the toll of COVID-19 on physicians and residents, Health and Hospitals developed a comprehensive workforce wellness strategy in 2020. This proactive approach has been maintained to address the ongoing challenges of the pandemic, aiming to increase awareness of mental health issues, improve access to resources, encourage help-seeking behavior, and enhance overall satisfaction with resources and working conditions. As part of this strategy, H&H has bolstered its H3 programming, which includes resources such as an anonymous internal support hotline, individual and group peer support sessions, and mandatory annual training for DIOs, designated institutional officers, GMA leaders, residency program coordinators, and directors, all aimed at addressing the emotional and psychological needs of our healthcare workforce. Furthermore, H&H launched the House Staff Wellness website in 2021, providing mental health resources and support hotlines for all staff regarding of academic affiliation or pay line. Additionally, H&H added behavioral health services to our virtual express care service line, allowing 24/7 access to mental health services via telehealth. This is available to all H&H staff and has been utilized by trainees. In late 2020, Health and Hospitals introduced staff wellness surveys as a vital tool, revealing critical insights into our wellness initiatives. The surveys indicate that residents and fellows were unaware of our H3 programming and were experiencing significant levels of stress and burnout. In response, system leadership established a dedicated support model for all health staff in alignment with ACGME requirements. This model aims to provide resources, reduce mental health stigma, and encourage a culture of seeking support within our healthcare workforce. Moving forward, we will continue to utilize these surveys to inform and enhance our support mechanisms, ensuring the well-being of our staff remains a top priority. H&H has taken specific steps to address the epidemic of physician suicide, recognizing that physicians have one of the highest suicide rates among all professions. National Physician Suicide Day, which is observed on September 17th, serves as a call to action to prevent suicide by promoting awareness, initiating conversations, understanding underlying barriers, and sharing resources for those in distress to seek mental health care. This year, we organized 2 virtual events aimed at shedding light on physician suicide and destigmatizing its existence within the healthcare landscape. Additionally, we hosted a resident-only panel focusing on reducing mental health stigma, promoting mindset and self-care, and reflecting on residency life. To further support residents, we developed a crisis support action plan, which is now integrated with the use of the integrated screening program. The ISP is created by the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, allows residents and fellows to complete a self-guided questionnaire in a safe and anonymous manner. Through the ISP websites, participants can anonymously assess stress, depression, other mental health concerns, and receive personalized responses from a H3 peer support champion, exchange messages with a peer support champion, ask questions, learn about mental health services, and be connected with these services. We are proud of our efforts to enhance resident well-being, but we also recognize the need for ongoing improvement. To address resident concerns effectively, we have established a standardized quality assurance workflow. This process involves regular meetings between residency programs, their direct leadership, facility leadership, and system-wide leaders. These meetings aim to address complaints or operational challenges, discuss high-level operational barriers, and work collaboratively to resolve these issues. Additionally, H&H created a resident working conditions and well-being task force comprising of both system leadership, wellness champions who meet quarterly to drive resident and fellow wellness strategy across the system. This task force organizes the biannual system-wide residency working conditions and wellness calls, along with ad hoc facility-specific meetings as needed. These calls include all the CEOs, CMOs, CNOs, DIOs, and other facility stakeholders, as well as CIR representation to align our efforts, have transparency in issue resolution, tracking and monitor trends, and sharing of strategies and best practices. The Resident House Staff Wellness Work Group consisting of representatives from across our facilities and central office divisions, is dedicated to assessing current state needs and gaps in resident well-being. This group identifies solutions and may evolve into future initiatives or programs. Continuously seeking feedback from our trainees, we are committed to enhancing the clinical learning environment with the aim of fostering a future where our trainees become valued faculty colleagues. We take pride in H&H's role in training a significant portion of the nation's doctors. While we would be honored to retain every resident within our system after they complete their residencies, we understand that various factors may lead to residents leaving our system and New York City. There are system factors such as the number of attending lines being fewer than resident and fellow lines, and we pride ourselves on the high retention rate of our attending physicians. There are also personal factors such as fellowship, attending opportunities outside of New York City for our residents and fellows, and/or their significant others, desire to be closer to family and friends when starting and growing their own families, and geographic preference. The high cost of living in New York City poses recruitment challenges. Additionally, fellowships are highly competitive and utilize a match system similar to residency, where a computer system determines the highest match between resident and program rankings to make a match. This means residents may have to apply broadly across the country and be willing to move where they match. Safety net hospitals like H&H often face challenges in competing with private and for-profit hospitals in terms of healthcare workforce salaries due to our payer mix. Despite this, we prioritize offering a comprehensive range of additional benefits unique to public and nonprofit health systems like ours. We also advocate for additional funding to support these critical programs. This includes our participation in initiatives such as the National Health Service Corps Loan Repayment Program and Doctors Across New York program. Within our system, we are proud to have launched a behavioral health loan repayment program aimed at engaging highly talented and motivated behavioral health staff. This program has offered $30,000 to $50,000 in debt relief to various behavioral health clinicians, psychiatrists, psychiatric physician assistants, psychiatric nurse practitioners, licensed clinical psychologists, and licensed clinical social workers in exchange for a 3-year commitment to serve H&H's patients. In conclusion, at Health and Hospitals, our mission is to provide high-quality health services with compassion, dignity, and respect to everyone without exception. We deeply appreciate and take pride in the daily efforts of our residents and fellows to further this mission. In turn, we are dedicated to support them day in, day out, as the health of our communities and of our great city are in the hands of the future generations of clinicians and clinical leaders that come out of our training programs. Thank you to the committee for the opportunity to testify and for your continued support of Health and Hospitals. I look forward to our continued partnership, and Donnie and I are happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Thank you for being a doctor serving our community, both of you. I appreciate that because we know in a time, not before COVID, I always know that doctors are very important because without our health, we're nothing. So you play a key role in our society. So I thank you for your work. Like people who said that I have a skin in the game because I have my own doctor, 2 doctors in my house. So I know how hard it can be. And I appreciate you. So now in the enrollment, how many medical residents completed an H&H residency program in 2023? Can you disaggregate these numbers based on their specialty fields in H&H campus? Bear with me 1 minute. How many foreign medical graduates are enrolled in H&H residency program? Is that enough? Because I can come back and, because a lot of layers. So answer those before I go back.
Donnie, you want to take the first one?
How many medical residents completed an H&H residency program in 2023? Let's start with that one.
Yes, good morning, Chair. And thank you for the opportunity to
Turn on the mic. The light, it will be on. Okay.
Good morning, Chair, and thank you for the opportunity to testify this morning. To answer your question in regards to the number of graduating trainees, that number is roughly around 1,000 or so. It's dependent upon who the sponsoring institution of the program is, and so that's where there's some plus or minus, but the general number is around 1,000.
About 1,000. How many foreign medical graduate are enrolled in H&H residency program?
We're currently doing a study with CIR in order to better understand some of the unique challenges from our international medical graduates. That study is in the focus group phase, and once we have that data, I'd be able to give you a more accurate answer. So I'm happy to follow up with the council when that's
So you don't have the data today?
Yeah, when we finish that analysis, I'd be happy to bring that back to the council.
Okay. Can you tell us what borough and hospitals medical residents are concentrated in?
Yeah, we have an entire grid. So the short answer is that we have residents and fellows in all 11 of our acute care facilities and 2 of our Gotham ambulatory diagnostic and treatment centers, which is Gouverneur and Morrisania. Our trauma centers, our largest hospitals, have the most, and we have those in 4 of the 5 boroughs. We don't have one in Staten Island.
So which one that you have more?
So Bellevue is going to have the most.
Okay.
It's our largest.
How many residency positions are open for new resident applications annually?
So this one, as Dr. Bell mentioned, is going to be about the 1,000 that graduate. We are growing some residency, so that number is going up. But like we said, there's 13 different sponsoring institutions that we work with outside of H&H and 7 medical schools, so we might only get small pieces of their full-time equivalents of residents. For example, Mount Sinai emergency medicine residents are rotating not just at Elmhurst Hospital, but at Mount Sinai Hospital.
I know. Although the resident matching process is a highly competitive process, 18 resident positions at H&H facilities were vacant in 2023. Can you please elaborate on how this happened?
Yeah, I think this is a known byproduct of the match system, right? You apply to residency programs. If they offer you an interview, you can accept or decline that interview. You can rank all the programs that you interviewed at from your first choice to the last program that you're willing to go to. Same goes for the programs. They have a meeting and they rank all the people that they interviewed from first choice to the last one that they'd be willing to take into the program. And so while we would love for this system to be perfect and make a match for everyone, due to competitiveness of programs and the ebbs and flows of interest and popularity of specialties, it's a natural byproduct that there's unmatched. And there is a process of, it's called the scramble, where you get an email on the Monday of match day, and you can do quick phone interviews, telehealth interviews, not telehealth, virtual interviews, and try to scramble into open slots. And so that closes a lot of the gap. But as an emergency physician, I know when I was training, it was the most popular specialty. I think a third of my med school class went into it. Residencies were popping up in hospitals all over the place. We know COVID kind of exposed how vulnerable emergency medicine physicians are to burnout. It has definitely dropped in popularity, and last year had 455 open slots across the country. So you see these ebbs and flows of what's most popular and what people want to go into.
Chair Narcisse, I would also add that in addition, via the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, we've actually been able to expand several of our programs, including in primary care, psychiatry, and OB-GYN. So we think we just wanted to add that as well.
Okay. Because for the month, I understand all the background because I had to go through it. But thank God he got accepted right away. But I'm saying there's a lot of people that want to be in New York City to be a resident here. So to have the vacancy while you have someone out there that did not get a spot, so it's very concerning for me. Because right now, I would tell you, very often I get email that I want to be I'm in New York. I don't want to go away because my family is in New York, and I would like to stay here. But I'm applying for residency. Nobody in New York calling me. Those are the things that I'm very concerned about too. Because if you have New Yorkers in New York and you have vacant slot, with I feel like it's kind of unfair process because somebody's sitting there crying and feel depressed even more after all the study and cannot get a spot, and you have vacant spot. All right, moving forward. Retention. Of the medical residents who enroll with H&H facility or New York City Hospital, do you have the data on how many have remained at their hospital or stay within the H&H hospital system after completing their residency? I heard you in the open statement, but do you have any data on the number of residents who completed a residency program in New York City who have since departed?
We tried really hard to pull this data. The biggest kind of overview number is that 20% of our current faculty or attending physicians have trained in our residency programs. We'll bring back any additional data that we're able to find. But as I mentioned in the testimony, right, there are less medical school spots for the number of pre-med students that there are studying in New York, and there are less residency spots than all the medical student spots, and then attending spots are even less. And the fact that we want to keep our attendings for hopefully their whole career, it might mean that only 1 or 2 attending spots per department open for each July for residents, both within our system and outside our system to compete over. And so that, I think, plays a big factor from a structural standpoint. And then there's the personal reasons why somebody might want to move out of New York City. I think there is this romanticized dream of people coming to study in New York City, to train in New York City. But when it's time to start a family or support family, they want to be closer to family. And I had that dream. I just didn't get into a New York training program. And I never would have dreamed of coming here with a 1 and a 3-year-old, but,
Even it's hard, I know people still want to come to New York City. Now, I have to acknowledge my colleagues that have joined us, CM Marmorato, Palladino, and Moya in Zoom. Thank you. Can you please provide an overview of structure and curriculum medical residency training programs offered by H&H? What measure does H&H have in place to ensure the quality of effectiveness of medical residency training programs across their facilities? How does H&H collaborate with affiliated medical school to enhance educational experience and opportunity for residents? Can you please explain the way that H&H hospitals interact with private hospitals to provide experiential learning for residents? For example, there are programs that are run by H&H that collaborate with NYU, I think you mentioned, NYU, Mount Sinai, and New York Presbyterian. I didn't hear New York Presbyterian. Is that too many? They took come out?
we'll start with the curriculum piece.
Okay.
So ACGME, as well as specialty-specific GME organizations, are standardized in things that they require in every pediatrics residency, every internal medicine residency. And so we follow those very closely to make sure that we're hitting all the core rotations and competencies. And then based off of that, there still is some flexibility built in for electives and for the program director to customize the training program. And I know they work closely with residents that are giving feedback with the designated institutional officer of the facility to try to not have a stale content, to continuously improve the curriculum. Our affiliates play a big role in that as well. They the deans of those schools, their associate deans, their DIOs, GME leads, and so we work together on that. In terms of experiential, I believe many of our trainees come and choose to train in New York because of the ability to have rotations in hospitals like Bellevue and Elmhurst and Jacobi that give them that safety net, the trauma center, serving the mission of the most vulnerable communities that enhances working at the kind of ivory tower academic institutions as well. And so we want to make sure that they experience community, urban, academic, to have a well-rounded training no matter where they go after training. Other kind of innovative things that we've worked on that we're proud of, such as the Healthcare Admin Scholars Program, is a 2-year mini fellowship that senior residents go through. That's twice monthly didactics and a mentored capstone quality improvement project. We have that at 7 of our 11 hospitals. The goal is to get it to 11 out of 11, and it's to let them, people who are interested in quality as well as systems thinking, get exposed to things that would take them a long time to get exposed to as junior faculty, to right away be able to improve things, to be change makers. And then for fellows or post-resident graduates, we created a clinical leadership fellowship, which is now in its 5th year. And so that's 1-year fellowship where we kind of flip the time to 70% fellowship leadership and quality improvement time and 30% clinical, so they can take, right, all the things that they wanted to fix, but they might not have had time to fix as a resident, and really work on those. So this is another way that we're retaining staff. 80% of our clinical leadership fellow graduates have stayed in health and hospitals.
Can you provide information on the support and resources that are available for residents regarding professional development, including research or mentorship opportunities, which you just talked about some part of it? Oh, my bad. I did not put my mic on. Can you provide information on the support and resources that are available for residents regarding professional development, including research or mentorship opportunities? How does HNH evaluate the outcomes and success of the medical residency training program? How are resident competency, satisfaction, and preparedness for independent practice measured? Can you please describe the crisis support attention plan?
Sure. Chair Narcisse, would you mind repeating the first portion of the question, please?
How does HNH evaluate the outcomes and success of medical residency training programs? How are resident competency, satisfaction, and preparedness for independent practice measured? Can you please describe the crisis support attention plan?
Yes, thank you. So I'll take the first portion of that. So all of our training programs that are under the ACGME undergo ACGME site visits based on their cadence and their rules and regulations. Those site visits survey both the faculty and the trainees, and there are prescribed metrics based on the specialty or subspecialty of training. There are also prescribed metrics and competencies for graduation from those programs. For a procedural-based training program, it might be the number of certain procedures that are done with a certain type of proficiency or autonomy. So the ACGME plays a key role there. We also have GME offices at our facilities that are composed of residents and fellows, and they also provide oversight of our GME operations at the hospital level. And we also have a GME council at the enterprise level to help support our programs across health and hospitals.
Excuse me on that, because some of the question you probably intertwine with some others, but if you can bear with me and answer as many as you can on this. Can you tell me what a golden weekend is? I don't know. That's some interesting question that I have to ask you. I want to know too.
So a
Yes.
golden weekend, which I don't think applies the same way as before some of the ACGME rules. For example, when my wife was training OB/GYN at LA County, she was 30 hours every fourth day. Her team was on call. So the golden weekend was when those 4 days happened to have Friday noon be your post call, that you had the Saturday and Sunday off, and then you were back in the rotation on Monday. And so the golden weekend is different than like being on call on Friday night and being off at noon on Saturday and only having 1 day. So that was the golden weekend.
I just want to be honest because, you know, being here, I have to work with the union as well to understand what's going on. So bear with me. I'm leaving some of my question and ask because I have to collaborate to do the best I can in terms of representing everyone. You have spoken, I didn't get to that question, but I'll ask you. You have spoken about the Patient Care Trust Fund. Can you tell us more about some of the projects and equipment it has funded and why you see increasing the H&H contribution is so important?
So this was something that our president and CEO, Dr. Katz, created when he was the health commissioner in San Francisco, also brought to Los Angeles. And it kind of it's parallel with what we believe in terms of transformation and quality improvement, that those doing the work are best positioned to know what the problems are and how to improve the work, the solutions. And so asking the residents what equipment needs to be updated, what equipment that's new or technologies that's new might be able to better serve our patients and communities is basically the undergirding of the idea of this fund, right? Have the residents decide what equipment is needed or needs to be updated. And so, just like our quality improvement, we want to just expand that. And so that's why we care about increasing this fund.
Okay. Talking about some of the, probably Dr. Katz exploring things with trying to do the best he can, I believe, but I still have to ask those questions. You have said that residents at Bellevue work side by side with NYU residents, but there is a $9,000 paid disparity. Can you explain how the split payroll works and how you end up on one payroll versus the other one?
Do you know the specifics about it?
Because I know I had to deal with that with Elmhurst Hospital in Mount Sinai. So now I want to know about the NYU one.
Sure, Chair. I would express that at Health and Hospitals, we would want everyone to receive fair and equitable pay. And I think we're working with our colleagues internally within the organization to make sure that happens as quickly as possible. So we would agree, and we think equal work should get equal pay.
If people are doing the same work, that's the problem I had because I used to be in Elmhurst Hospital and the resident used to talk about it all the time. And as being in the space here, when I heard it, I had to really came out to support fully. And I would like to see if they're doing the same work. It's unfair when you're looking at the paycheck, right?
We agree.
I'm hearing in your testimonies that the hospital census is very high and that you are all facing high patient loads. Can you tell us more about what that means for you as doctors? No, that's not for you. Sorry. Okay, you have said that the city's salary proposal will leave H&H the lowest paid in the city by next year. Can you give some example of how they pay will compare to some of the Sepsi Net hospitals?
I mean, I think Donnie and I are not directly involved in the negotiation with CIR. I will just say that, right, it's not just up to H&H. There's multiple stakeholders in these negotiations. We hope for a outcome that everybody is happy with, and like Donnie said, we want people to be paid a fair, livable wage.
Okay. Last year, residents, which I was talking about, Elmhurst Hospital went on strike because they were seeking pay parity with Mount Sinai residents. As I understand, Mount Sinai will cease to be the employer for Elmhurst residents, and they will start to move on to H&E contract in July. How does the salary the city is proposing compare to what Elmhurst residents went on strike to win?
I believe it's the same that they agreed to, but I'll have to come back and confirm that with you.
Those are for the residents. All right. Foreign medical graduate are physicians who have graduated from medical schools abroad. Regardless of what level of practice they engage in before coming to the U.S., they are required to complete a residency program here to practice their specialty. Can you please elaborate on the challenge that foreign medical graduate experience and what strategies H&H has in place to ensure equitable opportunities for them in residency program? Does H&H offer support for foreign medical graduates to navigate the residency application process? Do they offer any help for visa sponsorship and licensure challenges? Are there specific mentorship or advocacy programs tailored for foreign medical graduate within H&H residency programs to provide cultural integration or professional integration support? What measures does H&H take to monitor or address any potential bias or discrimination against foreign medical graduates in residency selection and evaluation process?
Okay. I'd say first, H&H is very proud to be one of the only systems in New York City who even takes foreign medical graduates into our residency and training programs. And it's because it's very much aligned with our mission, right? We serve, I think at Elmhurst, 190 different languages are spoken daily, right?
I know.
And so we want our providers, our staff to come from the community, to match the community, to have that concordance. And I think we have a track record of foreign medical graduates rising to high levels of leadership. Dr. Jasmine Moshepour, who trained in Iran, was a residency program director, CMO of 2 of our hospitals, dean at Mount Sinai, and she's one of many examples of foreign medical graduates contributing their entire career to health and hospitals. That being said, it must be incredibly hard to leave your country where you have your family, your support system, to train in a foreign place. And New York is not the easiest city to quickly adjust to with the subway, everything else that is here. We do sponsor visas. That's how we are able to have foreign medical graduates train in our programs. There is a lot of faculty that are foreign medical graduates from the same countries that act as mentors. We also do hire a lot of foreign medical graduates into non-direct patient care roles. When they first move to the U.S., you might have a foreign medical graduate working in a quality department, and then once they're in their system, they have mentors that help them if they are studying for taking the USMLE steps and applying for residency, which I've had multiple of my own staff do. So that's another way of a pipeline to it. In terms of selection and bias, we also have a pipeline from St. George's University where they do their 3rd and 4th year rotations in our health system, so that feeds residents into our training programs. And we pride ourselves on accepting foreign medical graduates into our classes and supporting them.
One thing, I don't know if you said it, I missed that. Do they offer any help for visa sponsorship and license?
Yes.
Okay. What strategies does H&H employ to support resident well-being? Specifically, their measures that are in place to prevent burnout, I think you mentioned that, and promote work-life balance. Can you just highlight a few things if you missed something?
Yeah. No, I think, strongly supportive of duty hours that were just being rolled out while I was in training. So I got like the before and after. We want to, have that be kind of the minimum and want to build upon that. Our Helping Healers Heal program was something that was started in Los Angeles and brought here initially as a second victim response program, helping staff through emotional and psychological trauma that we inevitably encounter as healthcare workers. We've expanded that to include vicarious trauma, compassion fatigue, and burnout. This program expanded significantly during COVID-19 to be more proactive, and so really thinking about the 8 dimensions of wellness and what is offered as resources for each of those. Proud that we have H3 programs in all of our facilities, acute, post-acute, and every service line. And this model was actually shared with the world by Project Hope during the pandemic. So it's now in 42 different countries, thanks to Project Hope. But we also have created an anonymous reporting system for work conditions, right? So we have our incident reporting system for patient safety events. Our house staff told us that that was not sufficient. We want to have the ability to report unsafe or problems with working conditions for residents. This is reviewed centrally and then discussed with every facility's leadership, and then as well as with CIR on these meetings that I mentioned in my testimony. And so that's a way of, in a psychologically safe way, letting residents raise their hands, say something's wrong, propose solutions, and then work collaboratively together to come up with solutions rather than, leadership guessing what residents need.
Thank you. Talking about Healers Heal.
Yes.
The H&H Helping Healers Heal program provides peer-to-peer support, mental health expertise, and team debriefing session on all of its 11 public hospitals to staff members following traumatic events. Can you give us more detail about how the program works, how many staff are employed to administer the Helping Healers Heal program at each hospital? What are their specific titles and responsibilities? What is the enrollment process for residents to join the program? Are they automatically enrolled, or do residents need to sign up? How many residents used this program in 2023? How often did they engage with the support mechanisms offered by this program? I think I'm going to do this because
Okay.
too many questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Answer
All right,
this.
so I'll start broadly on Helping Healers Heal. And so this was something that I started in LA and LA's public system, Department of Health Services there. And it came from this pit in my stomach from these root cause analysis meetings that I was facilitating, where we were having frontline staff basically tell us what happened in our toughest cases so that we could learn from them, but without any support. And so we would bring people to tears, and at the end of the hour-and-a-half meeting, pat them on the back and say, go back to the ICU and pass out meds perfectly, or go to the OR and do surgery perfectly, when I knew and everyone else in the room knew that they were compromised. They had just been crying, reliving a nightmare case. And so I learned more about this program called the 4U team at University of Missouri that Dr. Susan Scott created. And the idea is the House of Medicine has had a pretty toxic culture for a long time, where there was a saying that nurses eat their young. We all had attendings who walked uphill in the snow barefoot both directions to and from the hospital, worked more hours than are in a week, and so what are we complaining about? And so it was almost like this I don't want to call it hazing, but a rite of passage that we had to toughen people up to not be human anymore, to be able to survive in healthcare. And so the idea is that we possess healing powers. That's why we went into healthcare in the first place, that we want to heal others in their most trying and vulnerable times. We give it to patients and their families freely all day, every day, but we weren't allowed to give it to each other. And so the idea of Helping Healers Heal is a 3-tiered program. The first tier is at the unit department level. That is the culture. Instead of like shaming and blaming and punishing people where bad cases happened, think sometimes things outside of their control, it's about reaching out, saying, it must have been a really tough case when you lost a pediatric trauma, right? How are you doing? You're really important to us as a team member. You're part of our family. Let me tell you about a similar case I had, how that made me feel, how I got over it. I'm here if you need, and just prevent that downward spiral of suffering alone. And so that goal was, when I started this in LA, I would show up at a shift in the ED, and 2 or 3 residents and nurses would come up to me at the beginning of a shift and say, I know you're really busy, but if you have 2-3 minutes during the shift, I would love to talk to you about a case that's keeping me up at night, or I'm not eating because of this case. And so we want our peer support champions to have that kind of role. And so tier 2 is peer support champions. So this is about 300 to 400 people that we would train up in each facility, hospital.
So now we're coming back to H&H. How many staff are employed to administer the healing?
Yeah, so employed, there are wellness directors at each of our sites. Some of our hospitals have chief wellness officers. There are 2 people that are co-chairs of each of the steering committees. The care experience officer and the chief quality officer serve as executive sponsors. And so I would say that in LA it started as a purely extra role, as additional task for these people. But through the pandemic, through philanthropy at first, but now on our operating dollars, we've created dedicated wellness director lines. And so that's the first time that someone's fully employed just to do the H3 program.
Gotcha.
But we have these 300 to 400 trained peer support champions, and the idea is every unit, every department, every discipline, every shift is the goal to have at least one trained H3 champion on to be able to do one-on-one debriefs, to do group debriefs, and we think of that as a rapid response for emotional and psychological support. They also triage up to tier 3, which would be expedited referral network. And so not everybody who loses a patient needs to speak to a psychiatrist, but far too many program directors, medical directors said, well, we give them good health insurance, just have them call the number on the back of their insurance card. And we felt that wasn't good enough. There need to be vetted resources for everything a staff member might need, and it continuously grows as staff ask for more things like domestic violence support is an example of a growth. But to be able to, within 24 hours, connect somebody with what they truly need, even as a bridge before insurance can kick in for something that might be more long-term.
Mm-hmm. So you automatically enroll once you're a resident, or you have to sign up?
Yeah, it's not really enroll. It's available to all H&H staff, regardless of pay line. And there are debriefs, there are wellness rounds that go to different departments. That was something that came out of COVID. There are wellness rooms that are at all of our hospitals. But we've worked with GME, and now not only are every kind of leadership role within GME at the site's going to be trained as peer support champions, we're doing an abbreviated version for all the trainees that we get as part of their normal curriculum.
Okay. Can you tell me how many residents use this program in 2023?
So that one is tougher because we don't want to collect information that's going to deter anybody from seeking care. So the tracking that we do is the number of one-on-one peer support, group debriefs, and then kind of what a trigger might be. Like this was a second victim, like a loss of a patient. This was something outside of work, and that kind of feeds what we need to up resource. But we try not to have anything that's identifiable back to the staff member receiving support, because we don't want people to feel like, oh, this is going to get back to my program director or my manager supervisor or if there is a litigation or, around the med-mal around that case, they'll somehow be able to track it back to what I said to my peer support champion.
I got it. But roughly, can you tell me what's the percentage at least? Because if I have 400 residents, you can tell roughly how many that been in.
Yeah.
But you don't have to give all the detail, but roughly they can tell you how many people in and out.
I think what I can bring back is from our every 2-year employee feedback survey, we do, that one we do collect much more demographics. It is anonymous, but we can tell residents and fellows from that one. We had a big jump in awareness from 2021 to 2023 of the H3 program. And then there was also a question of willingness to be able to use H3. So that was that psychological safety question. I could bring the results of those two from 21 to 23, but it doesn't ask specifically, did you use? It was, right, are you willing to?
Thank you so much. Now I'm gonna pass it over to my colleagues, one of my colleagues actually, Palladino, to ask some question on the Healers Heal.
Actually, you did a very good job on asking just about everything I wanted to ask. I wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you who are wearing that white coat. And I personally know a great deal of people who came from Ross University, and they had a study in the Caribbean at St. Kitts. So they came into New York. They were all American, from different states throughout the country. They settled here in New York to do their residencies in hospitals like Elmhurst and several in Brooklyn. Very tough adjustment for each and every one of you. So I understand. I lived with them for 3 years. I offered them housing and such in my home. And I got to know quite a few of you, so I know the strain that you're under. I'm going to skip, if I may, because my chairperson really took care of a lot of questions. My questions are going to lie in staffing shortfalls. In addition to the 2,300 residents that are employed by H&H, how many physicians and nurses are employed by H&H right now?
We have those exact numbers here. 5,800 physicians employed by H&H and 9,600 nurses.
Okay, so there's a shortage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We all know what we went through during the pandemic and how we had the best of the best working at the top of their game, going through all these mental health issues, including a very good a staffer of mine, her daughter had a nervous breakdown during that period of time. I'm just curious now, since we have so many shortfalls, what about these people who were laid off due to the COVID vaccine mandates? And isn't that a good pool to start with? And giving the people back their jobs that were laid off and who are duly qualified to handle what is going on in the hospitals. They served for 5 years, 10 years. They served through the worst of the pandemic, survived it, and now they're out of work. So I have a pool for you to go to if you have a shortage of staffers. It's called those that were laid off during the COVID mandates.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, right? I think it's open for them to apply for any of these vacancies if they want to come back.
However, what's the caveat to them applying? They don't go back to the status that they once were, correct? Everybody thinks they got their jobs back after COVID, when the truth of the matter is they had to start from scratch, from where they first started, even though they had 10 years in.
Yeah.
So what can we do? I'd like to talk a little bit more about helping you out with your shortages of staffing.
Sure. It's a good suggestion and happy to continue the conversation.
Okay. And again, I welcome all of you, and I am so incredibly proud of each and every one of you. Keep up the good work. Terrific.
Thank you, CM. Now I want to acknowledge we've been joined by Council Member Rivera. And before that, I would like to pass to my colleague, Marmorato, for a question.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming here to testify today, and thank you for all of you who showed up. Just a little background on me. I am a healthcare worker of 24 years before I got into politics and became a council member. So I understand a lot of what you are going through. My concern is work-life balance. As these residents are working, what are their shifts looking like on a daily basis, like a weekly basis? How many hours are they working? What are the shift hours?
I think it very much depends on the specialty, and I
Okay.
know many of the people giving testimony after will share more details. It is a combination of shift work for some specialties,
Okay.
right, like primary care, the emergency department is shift work, and others are a little bit more like being part of a team, right,
Yeah.
internal medicine, hospitalist team, and so you might have, right, a rotation of working in clinic versus covering inpatient versus taking call and admitting patients from the ER. But we have to stay within the duty hours, so, right, no more than 28 hours and no more than 80 hours in a week. But I'd say, like, even within the same specialty, different programs have different shift lengths, right? So some have all 12-hour shifts in the ED, whereas others have like 12, 10, 8. But if you have 12 hours, you might work less number of days than if you had 8 hours, and you have to work more days to make up the same number of hours. And so there's differences in philosophy.
Okay. As somebody who's been in it, Jacoby H&H was my first shift ever in the emergency room on a Friday night. It made me kind of change my path in my career. But work-life balance, don't you think 80 hours a week that's a lot for somebody to handle? And especially if you're going through a mental health crisis, you lose a patient, you're dealing with COVID, you don't have time off to cope with this. You have to do better, New York. You really have to do better. It's great that you have the healing with Helping Hands, Helping Healers
Heal, yeah.
program. That's amazing. But having peers talk it out with you is one thing. But you need to go home and digress. You got to relax. You have to remove yourself from the situation in order to unwind. That's the only way you're going to be able to reset with your mental health. You have to do better than this. 80 hours a week is a lot of shifts, a lot of hours to put in.
Yeah, council member, we would agree. There are always opportunities to improve our residency programs, specifically as it pertains to wellness. In addition to the 80 hours rule, and it varies from specialty or subspecialty, there are also regulations around the amount of time off. In addition to that, there are designated wellness days for our residents and fellows.
Good.
And a number of our programs have wellness retreats. So although, again, to your point, there's always room for improvement, we certainly prioritize wellness and are always looking for ways to improve.
What is a wellness retreat?
It could be organized by a particular program, and it could be a social activity. It could be a trip out of New York City. It's variable.
Does the hospital pay for that?
I think the hospitals do pay a component of that.
Okay. Now, I know there's a shortage. Do you hire travelers? Do they have travel?
No,
I know for
not-
nurses you have
Yeah,
travelers.
for nurses, but not for residents. I'd say the closest would be either hiring sessional or locums attendings to cover gaps, or advanced practice.
And what is your pay differential? Because from my experience, travelers are making about 3 times more money than we were as technologists.
Yeah, no, it's similar, right? You're paying a lot of money just to the company that's providing the
Yeah.
locums. Sessional is usually, right, your own staff working extra shifts, right? Like picking up moonlighting
Yeah.
is another way of calling it, or somebody who used to train in the program who is working somewhere else might sign up for 1 or 2 shifts just to stay in touch with the system. The sessional pay is more in line with normal pay, but locums, just like travelers, much more expensive.
Okay, and can you also elaborate on the debt relief? Can you give us like an idea, ballpark of what that would be for the residents? Debt relief was more for their
debt
tuition?
relief, yeah. So there is a federal program that if you work in an with underserved communities, and you make income-based repayment times 10 years, 100, what was it? So 10 years making income-based repayment, then you get the remainder of your loan forgiven. But there are separate programs, like New York has the Doctors Across New York, which gives a certain amount of med school or school debt relief in exchange for years of service. We are piloting using philanthropy dollars to also incentivize and help reduce, and we're constantly looking for other ways that we can, because we understand that this is a huge, especially with the cost of living in New York, to have $250,000, $500,000 in student debt, right, is a big dark cloud over new graduates who might just be starting a family, right? And so we understand that that's a big driver of where you decide to go after residency, and it's another recruitment tool to try to make it.
And Dr. Way, I would also add, we've also been working to have more of our facilities eligible for the National Health Service Corps. So recently we were able to obtain facility level eligibility for Bellevue Hospital. So we're expecting that will aid in our recruitment as we're able to, as those applicants will then qualify for some of those federal loan repayment programs.
Okay, so now you know that we're in a housing crisis here in the city. What are you doing for housing for your residents? I know in Jacoby H&H, they have about 3 buildings on the campus to help out. What are you doing for the rest of the city?
I think it's something that when I was interim CEO at Harlem, we were exploring with our Housing for Health leads. It's a very real problem, and we don't have subsidized housing for our residents, nor do we have entire buildings, dorms for our staff. But I think it's something that we're continuously exploring. Real estate's
Yeah, it's
really
important because
expensive.
they work, if they're working 80 hours a week, you need a place very close to go and rest. Because when you're sleeping in the hospital overnight on a bed, like one of those patient beds, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And you're not getting a full night's sleep. Also, I just wanted to touch on increasing funds for technical equipment. What is that? Can you just elaborate on that for me?
So,
Oh, sorry. Okay. What?
You'll finish that.
Okay, just as far as the technical
yeah.
equipment.
I think the chairwoman had a similar question of what that fund was. So that was the thing that was started in San Francisco and then
Okay.
LA, and here is the idea that the residents know best, what equipment needs to be upgraded or what technology that doesn't exist needs to be brought in to better serve our patients. And
But
so
this is on top of what we're already funding locally as council members. So
Yes,
this is
correct.
separate.
This
Then
is
that's what I
separate.
just wanted
This
to
is separate,
understand.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, CM.
Sorry.
Now, that's all right. I know as a medical professional that we are excited to fight it. I know. I'm a nurse, so you are. Now, CM Rivera.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Thank you for being here for your testimony. I want to, and also thank all the people that are here to testify. I know at least Bellevue's in the house, so which is in my district. So I just want to ask a question about hospital closings and their impact on you. Both Mount Sinai Beth Israel, which is pretty much kind of across the street from Bellevue, and then SUNY Downstate, kind of across the street from King's Hospital as well. They've announced potential closures, and I know the chair has been very, very passionate and active on this issue. If these hospital campuses are downsized or closed altogether, Does H&H have the capacity to employ some of the physicians and nurses from these hospitals? Do you have the capacity to absorb the patients who would overflow from these hospitals?
Yeah, I know it has us very anxious at both Bellevue, Kings County, and as a system. We are going to always do everything within our power to make sure that everyone has access to care and safe care and quality of care. Bellevue and Kings County are seeing significantly higher patient populations or patient demand, right? Bellevue, for example, is running a census 200 higher than 2019, so pre-COVID, and Kings County similarly. And so the short answer is we're not sure where we're gonna put any additional patients or any additional ambulance runs coming in, but we're not burying our heads in the sand and, praying and hoping it doesn't happen. We're preparing. And so it's gonna take the whole system, right? It's not just gonna be Bellevue on its own or Kings on its own. We're gonna have to use the whole system, as well as working with SUNY Downstate, with Mount Sinai and NYU and other partners, NYP, to make sure that, right, the health of New Yorkers is not impacted.
No, I'm sure. I'm in Bellevue a lot. It's close to my family. My uncle's receiving treatment for his liver at King's, and we're very, very thankful to you. I just worry about the residency programs that operate at these facilities being impacted. I also worry about this because of the elimination of services, right? That's going to create that burden. And in 2021, this committee held a hearing on resident well-being, and residents clearly stated that, in addition to moral injury from so many things, one of them was financial strain. And it's 2024, resident salaries have not increased. I know H&H has not addressed pay disparity for split payroll programs. Do you agree this is having a negative impact on morale and the well-being of residents?
I mean, I think the honest answer is I'm sure it is, right? Yes.
So I hope that encourages you all to negotiate in good faith, and really, I know you value these amazing people that work hard every day. Residents, just this last one, Madam Chair, if that's okay? Yes. That residents are salaried employees that do not receive overtime pay, correct?
They do not. Unless there is some moonlighting, right? They are under duty hours.
Is that like the on-call coverage pay? No, right?
On-call
That's different.
coverage pay, that's different.
The closest thing to overtime that I've learned is something called on-call coverage pay. This is when compensation for when a resident has to come in and cover a call shift that they were not scheduled to work. So do you agree that it's important that residents are compensated for working these additional call shifts, for working, for morale, and also to encourage residents to take on these shifts? And I also want to ask, if residents are not available or do not put their hand up to cover a call shift for a sick resident, what does H&H do, and how do they cover that need? So two questions there. Is it important that we compensate these residents for these additional call shifts? And if someone doesn't raise their hand to cover one, how do you deal with that, and how do you cover the need? Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, so
You're welcome.
Councilmember, we would agree that we would want work to be compensated. And I think to the broader issue, there are ongoing negotiations with CIR, so we can we'll definitely, after this hearing, touch base with our internal colleagues regarding those negotiations, and we can bring back any developments or advancements of those negotiations to this council. To your second question, or maybe even backing up a little bit more, part of our rationale for expanding some of our training programs, and again, these are some of the largest ones in internal medicine, psychiatry, OB-GYN, is to buttress our workforce, right? To make the workload a little bit lighter for our trainees. So I would say that's something that we've been able to do, and I think we've been able to get a significant number of the awards from CMS in the state of New York. And what was the last component of your question?
It was, how does H&H, if residents are not available or do not put their hand up to cover a call shift for a sick resident, what does H&H do, and how do they cover that need?
Correct. I would say we leverage some of our other team members, whether that be an allied health staff member such as an NP or a nurse practitioner or another attending physician. I would say they would step into those roles. I don't know if Dr. Wade, if you would like to add something there.
No, I think it's the same as any other discipline. If things happen, getting in a car accident on the way to work, God forbid, being sick, there aren't enough backup systems to account for all the emergencies, and so it would be sometimes the administrative leadership, so like the medical director or the associate medical director or assistant medical director or somebody who is in the office who's planning on working on ultrasound or education might be pulled to step in and cover. And so there are other doctors in each department that are, in the hospital that, clinical care comes first. We want to make sure that it's safe and it's covered.
Well, definitely. Thank you for answering that. It just sounds like you have to pay another provider at a much higher rate potentially, or the work is going to fall to the remaining residents. So that's tough, and that's really hard for them. So I'm glad that you're, talking to them directly and working on their needs. And I thank you for your testimony, and to Madam Chair for the time.
Thank you. That's what you get when you have registered nurse, radiologist, and social worker. Medical opportunities for student and aspiring inclusive clinicians, Mosaic program. Can you please describe the medical opportunities for student and aspiring inclusive clinicians program and the visiting scholar programs? Specifically, can you provide details about the number of people who have been awarded scholarship through this program and the progress they have made? Are you considering any updates or expansion of this program?
Sure. Thank you, Chair. I can speak to that program. So Mosaic is a program that we're very proud of. We think it fits very tightly with our mission at Health and Hospitals to offer care to all New Yorkers and to enable them to live their healthiest lives. It was named in part after the quote from former Mayor Dinkins that New York is a beautiful mosaic, and that's how we feel about our patient population. And so the goal of Mosaic is to align our clinical staff as much as possible to our patients, because there's pretty good evidence that concordance there improves patient outcomes. As far as the program, it's multifaceted in terms of reach towards various different components of the pipeline for healthcare providers. We've partnered with community-based organizations such as Mentoring in Medicine to have outreach for elementary and high school students that are interested in health careers. We've also partnered with another organization, Eastside House Settlement, to mentor folks that are also interested in other types of health careers. In addition to, or in reference to the Visiting Scholars Program, that's a program that's offered to primarily fourth-year medical students or third-year or later third-year medical students from across the country, where they can come and do rotations at Health and Hospitals, get introduced to our system, and we try to work with students who are from underrepresented backgrounds as much as possible. There have been about roughly 20 students to go through that program in the last couple of years, and we hope to expand the program to include some, as Dr. Wade mentioned earlier, potentially philanthropy-funded scholarships or loan repayment programs, as well as to increase the didactic component of the program regarding health equity, as well as to include medical simulation in that training.
I hope you're really pushing this program around the underserved communities, because we would like to see more of those young folks get to the point where they can serve their own populations and more likely can be culturally sensitive.
Absolutely.
All right. The citywide nurse residency program launched in 2019 and has led to improved worker confidence and retention. Could you please tell us what types of monthly seminars and on-the-job training are offered to nurses to go through this residency program?
So in full transparency, these were the questions that we were most nervous about, not being part of the CNO's office or nurses ourselves. But what we have collected is that some of the seminars that are covered: research, evidence-based practice, quality improvement, scope and standards of nursing practice, professional practice model and the care delivery model, culture of safety, medication safety case studies, what is quality, the model for improvement, cultural diversity, case study on care of LGBTQIA patients, wellness, health, and self-care, music and therapy, palliative care, case study, discharge planning for palliative care and hospice, nursing educational opportunities at H&H, professional development plans and clinical ladder. The job training is around implementing an evidence-based project in their unit and their professional communication and collaboration using simulation and role play, critical reflection and simulations on disease-specific care, behavioral emergencies, stroke, hypertensive emergencies, pneumonia, change in patient conditions.
Thank you. And an October 2023 press release by the mayor's administration, we learned that the retention rate for nurses was up to 40%, reaching as high as 96% at participating H&H campuses. And this, the retention rate exclusively for the nurses who complete the citywide nurse residency program. Or in this, the general retention rate for all nurses who are employed by participating H&H campuses?
Yes, this is for the retention rate for 2023 for H&H employed nurses participating in the residency.
Thank you. Is this program structured on a rolling basis where nurses can enroll at any point and remain in the program for 1 year? Or is there a uniform start and an end date for all nurses who are participating? I'm just combining this admin question because I have a lot of questions that I'm trying to get through.
Understood. So we enroll all full-time new hires that are recent graduates or new to the specialty that they're hired for. I believe that it is a rolling, but doesn't say explicitly. So I have to come back to you. I think there are probably dates throughout the year that it starts. So rolling, it's not just, right, you wait 12 months till the next start date if you happen to be hired the day after this one starts.
Okay. What feedback have you received regarding the success of this program? Are there any components of this program that could be used in medical residency programs for physicians in training to increase physician retention rates and decrease burnout?
I mean, I think the 96% retention rate is a huge, success of this program. I think it is definitely worthwhile to look at what is applicable to new residents as well as new hires out of residency. Some of the lessons learned, the support of the New York City government was an important component of the program's success. Having dedicated staff to the nurse residency program, having all the chief nursing officers and the Council of Chief Nursing Officers across H&H participating or executively sponsoring, committed facilitators and advisory board. The automatic enrollment was a success, and then sharing of outcomes to celebrate wins, as well as leadership engagement. So some of the wins.
All right. I'm trying not to hold you for too long. but those questions have to be answered. You got the. So one of the things I want to add, even though you're talking, I'm listening to everything. For the resident, right, compared to the nurses, one thing I want to tell you, they don't work that many hours. So if they work less hours, the burnout will be less for the residents. So that's my own opinion, and I think it's so many too. According to a report from Commercial Intelligence Company, Definitive Healthcare, nearly 117,000 physicians left the workforce in 2021 due to the retirement, burnout, and pandemic-related stressors. I think we talk about that. How many physician departure did H&H experience? How does H&H assess and address the impact of staffing shortages on resident workload and patient care within its residency program?
I don't have the exact number. We'll have to come back of the physicians that left since the pandemic, but I do know for our physician affiliate group of New York, PAGNI, hired a general kind of turnover rate year over year. Pre-pandemic was about 7.5%, and then after that first year, after 2020, it doubled to 15%. It's come down significantly. So I think there's that initial group that after the pandemic, they felt like that was the last chapter that they wanted to do in healthcare, and either left the field, retired, or so forth. And it's come down closer to where it was pre-pandemic. We created that recruitment office where we're helping our affiliates, such as PAGNI, NYU, and Mount Sinai, to recruit. Donnie and I have ourselves spoken to graduating residents to answer any of their questions, talk about why we joined Health and Hospitals, why we stay at Health and Hospitals, and so leveraging some of the leaders across Health and Hospitals to talk about the mission and why we are here. In terms of the impact to residents, there are caps for teams. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to cap the emergency department, but what happens is patients end up waiting in the waiting room, and then you see left without being seen go up and so forth. But in terms of Bellevue with the inpatient census, it didn't just fall on the same teams. If they had 5 teams before, right, it's expanded the number of hospitalist teams that are taking care of capped number of patients.
Thank you. The Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education used to have a 16-hour shift limit, but that's been rolled back. And now residency programs are allowed to assign trainees shift that can be as long as 28 hours, provided the residents don't exceed 80 hours over 4 weeks. How are you ensuring that residents assign reasonable hours and not subject to an excessive amount of time per shift?
Well, we have to follow New York State and ACGME duty hours, and any violations are reported and investigated by the accrediting bodies. The programs can get put on provisional status if they're not complying with duty hours. I think we all agree that 80 hours is a lot to work in a week. We'll say that I'm glad that it's not what it used to be, where there wasn't any duty hours, but would advocate, right? I would say 4 years of residency training was plenty for me. I would not want to do longer to get the full training. And so I think it's a balance of those two things.
I appreciate that because you've been through that and you see how difficult it is. I'm counting that you're gonna fight to make it fair for the generation to come and the one that's present with you, that you can actually put yourself in their shoes, right? Okay. The city, which is New York City-based newsroom reports that 2,300 residents have been working at H&H hospitals without a contract since December 2021, when their previous agreement expired, right? What is the delay in renewing their contracts, and do you estimate them to be renewed?
We sure hope that we find resolution as soon as possible. It is, I think, it's not abnormal for contracts to expire and you keep the same, conditions that were agreed upon. That's happened to some of our affiliation agreements. I think COVID played a big role, right? 2020 to, up to very recently, it took up a lot of our attention and our time. And then for the city as the negotiating, body for all of these, with our labor partners, right? I think it's also just, right, there are a lot of different labor partners and contracts that they're negotiating. And so if one takes longer, it kind of puts the other ones at a delay. So, but absolutely, we do not want this lingering.
Thank you. And like you said, you're a doctor. I'm counting on you to be fair, to fight and make sure that they get that contract as soon as possible. A nationwide study of 4,826 resident physicians over 8 academic years revealed that working over 48 hours per week doubled the likelihood of medical errors and nearly tripled the risk of preventable adverse events and fatalities. Even one extended duration shift per month within the 80 hours limit was associated with substantial increases in errors and adverse events, underscoring the urgent need to address resident work-out regulations for patient care and resident well-being. What is the maximum number of working hours or consecutive shift permitted for a resident? I know you tried to answer it, but I'm going to dig in on it.
No, as the chief quality officer, these are obviously very concerning, right? We do not want unsafe care or sub-quality care. In terms of the hours, I think we went over that. There was 28 hours, no more than 28 hours consecutively, no more than 80 for most specialties. But for example, emergency medicine, it's 60 hours per week as a cap.
There's a lot. Thank you. I know you're trying, and I appreciate you. Can you tell us more about the Patient Care Trust Fund? I did that already. We understand the state recently announced an agreement with the federal government on the Medicaid waiver demonstration project that will bring additional funding to New York. Is that funding going to help address the Medicaid funding gap? What do you think?
I don't think Donnie and I are the right people to comment on that.
I was just guessing that you may be able to answer that, but you cannot.
I
Okay,
think we should save that for the budget hearing.
I'll leave it alone. I thought you may have an idea. What does GNYHA do with its teaching hospital members to ensure that resident working conditions are addressed by hospital leadership? Do you know?
I think Mr. Tim Johnson is going to testify today on behalf of Greater New York. But
okay, so I'm going to leave it for that.
Support, yeah.
Okay, I love you because you just said I'm not answering something. I'm not going to put my in my mouth. Okay. What else I have that I can quickly ask you? I'm in a time constraint, and I'm trying to make sure that I address all the questions that I needed to. If I left anything behind. Oh, I have to acknowledge I've been joined by CM Schulman. We don't have any. Okay. Bear with me a second. I'm trying to let you go. 1 second. I know you're busy. I don't want you to spend your time all day with me. CM Rivera, a follow-up question.
Thank you so much. And I just want to thank the chair because you've asked some excellent questions. I just wanted to get a clarifying question on how coverage works at the hospitals. I asked a little bit of, I asked a question on-call coverage, and I just saw, a little bit of body language from the crowd. So could you tell me how coverage works at the hospitals? Can you be explicit? I saw a lot of doctors here shaking their heads and seem to disagree with the response to on-call coverage. Can you tell me how it works?
So I think it depends on the residency in terms of, is there a backup system? Certainly, I don't know the nuances of every specialty and every program. When I was in training, there was we actually created on-call, right? So there was one resident that was on backup in case somebody called in. I know Jacoby has one, and I believe King's has one. I'm trying to remember from all my rotations across the EDs. So people getting called on jeopardy is what it's called when you get pulled in. We could come back with more data, like pull all the programs. Do they have an on-call system for it? But I think it is dependent on program director, program leadership. It's dependent on the department, the medical director, right, of that department, whether there's a backup system for the attendings, for the APPs, for the residents.
So it's more there's some
It's very
discretion
local.
there?
It's very local, yes.
Okay, all right, interesting. Well, as much information as we can get about that, it would be appreciated for transparency. Thank you. Thank you very much. So,
I'm gonna say thank you because my time is almost up here, and I want to say I appreciate you both for sharing the time here with us. And you understand, at the end of the day, we have to keep on fighting for our frontline workers, and especially when it comes to residents in New York City. So without any further ado, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everyone that been contributing and all of you that's sitting here and to be present, and we can make the difference in our healthcare with you. Thank you so much, and thank you to all the team, Manu, Ria. I don't want to mess up the last name. So thank you, my colleagues, and we're gonna go to the next phase, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We will now turn to public testimony. If you wish to testify in person today and you've not yet done so, please fill out a slip with the sergeant's desk. We will be limiting public testimony today to 2 minutes each. For in-person panelists, please come up to the table once your name has been called. For virtual panelists, once your name is called, a member of our staff will unmute you, and the sergeant at arms will set the timer and give you the go-ahead to begin. Please wait for the sergeant to announce that you may begin before you deliver your testimony. For our first panel, I'd like to call up Mr. Tim Johnson, Dr. Michael Zingman, Dr. Prama Ayapermoa, Dr. Rachel Persile, and Dr. Rachel Persile is the end of the first panel. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. If we could start with Mr. Tim Johnson, and then the panelists from CIR SCIU can follow him. Thank you so much.
Excuse me. Hi, good morning, Chair Narcisse, council members. My name is Tim Johnson. I work at the Greater New York Hospital Association, which, as I think you all know, includes all the hospitals in New York City, both voluntary and public, including the health and hospitals. I want to focus my comments on a couple of things in the interest of keeping this very brief. Just the first thing I want to talk about is just to mention how much I really appreciate the strong support of the Chair Narcisse, the other council members, in addressing what we consider a crisis going on in healthcare right now, which is the Medicaid funding gap in the state of New York. Medicaid currently pays at the state level 70% of the cost of hospital care in New York State. I want to say that again, 70% of the cost of hospital care. That is a scandal right now. And we have a campaign going with 1199 SEIU to really get the state budget, the governor, the legislature to really address that funding gap, to really help our hospitals address labor shortages and all their capital needs and whatnot. So really want to call out Chair Narcisse and the other council members who are very much supportive of that campaign that we are undertaking. On the issue of resident concerns and resident work hours and working conditions, I do want to say that as our colleagues from H&H spoke about, there are various regulations and policies in place, so I don't need to go through them. I convene a monthly group of the chief academic officers from all of our member teaching hospitals, including from H&H. We talk about this and many other issues. We talk about wellness opportunities for residents. And I really just want to highlight that this is something that is top of mind for us, and we continue to work on it. We could always do better, but I do want to just share that it is something that we take very seriously. Thank you for the time. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks to the hospital committee and especially to Councilmember Narcisse for making this hearing possible for CIR. My name is Dr. Michael Zingman. I'm National Secretary Treasurer for CIR and also a Child Psychiatry Fellow at Bellevue Hospital. I'm proud to say that I've done all of my medical training at Bellevue, and throughout that time, my belief in this system has only continued to grow. H&H is deeply embedded in the fabric of this city. This system represents what's possible when care is available to everyone. That's in large part because residents and fellows are stretching ourselves across 1,000 cracks to hold this system together. But we shouldn't have to do that. It's not fair to us or to the people of New York, including the migrant, houseless, working class New Yorkers, and many others who have borne the brunt of our current mayor's austerity policies. Every day, CIR members must shove our own needs to the side to care for our patients, as our patient loads are mounting, and it's no secret that our hospitals are perpetually understaffed. This all takes a real psychological toll on the 2,300 resident physicians and fellows who power H&H. That should alarm our mayor and the H&H administration. About 25% of resident physicians experience depression, and tragically, suicide is the leading cause of death for male residents and the second leading cause of death for female residents. Economic security, and especially stability in housing, are core needs. When my patients don't have those things, it affects every aspect of their mental and physical health. The same is true for house staff, and our well-being is completely inseparable from patient care. Our stagnant pay also means we will lose talented physicians to other programs simply because they can't afford to work at H&H. If H&H wants to improve our working conditions, support our well-being, and help us recruit and retain a strong, diverse physician workforce, they will agree to our bargaining demands, because we are fighting for ourselves, for our patients, and for the future of care for our city. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Zingman. Thank you, Chair Narcisse and council members. My name is Dr. Prama Elia Perumal. I'm a dual board certified physician. I'm in my final year of pulmonary and critical care medicine fellowship at South Brooklyn Health. I'm a proud member of the union and of our bargaining committee. Truthfully, what we're asking for are very modest increases in salary, benefits, and funding for the Patient Care Trust Fund. This is to keep up with record inflation and to ensure that our members have the means to care for of themselves while they care for the sickest in the city. Unfortunately, the negotiators on the part of the city have demonstrated they don't quite understand or appreciate exactly who we are, what we do within the HHC system. And as a result, a lot of my colleagues struggle to pay for housing costs, childcare costs, food, student loans, or even their own healthcare sometimes. So to explain who we are, we are medical graduates, not medical students. We're completing our specialization and subspecialization training, and we're at the center of patient care in HHC hospitals. I've worked at 4 different HHC hospitals in the past 5.5 years, and I can tell you they would grind to a screeching halt if it weren't for the efforts of our medical residents. There's simply no way that an attending physician could see a 50-patient clinic panel or handle a 30-patient census on the wards without residents. Further, we're constantly charged with filling staffing gaps. We place IV lines, we draw bloods, we blood tests, we transport patients, schedule appointments, do EKGs, and much more. About 4 years back now, I was a second-year resident at Woodhull Hospital, and our system was stressed beyond what anybody could have imagined. Our whole hospital turned into an intensive care unit like others did. Every few hours, we would hear cardiac arrest codes, we'd have patients pass around every few hours for months. That was the life that we lived. I had colleagues who lost family, who fell into depression, who experienced mechanical injury from just doing CPR so frequently during shifts. And I share this experience because March 2020 was the last time that HHC house staff received a raise. So the doctors that you're hearing from today helped New York City get through this pandemic. We are called healthcare heroes. We're given all sorts of praise. But the reality is we're soon to be the lowest paid house staff among even community hospitals in this city. I know that we deserve better. The communities that we serve deserve doctors who are not struggling and who can focus on healing them instead of worrying about how they're going to pay the rent. That's why we're continuing this fight for a fair contract. We urge your support to get us a fair contract with the city moving forward. Thank you.
Okay. And thanks so much again to Chair Narcisse and the committee for holding this hearing. My name is Dr. Rachel Persily. I'm a resident physician in psychiatry at the Bellevue NYU program. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here today, but honestly, we shouldn't have to be here. Bargaining has dragged on for over 6 months now. The current salary proposal from Mayor Adams and the H&H administration would make H&H residents the lowest paid resident physicians in the city by next year, leaving first-year residents $5,000 behind the average of our peer in New York City safety net hospitals. Meanwhile, the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment in New York is about $3,700. Resident physicians carry an average of more than $250,000 in student loan debt, and many carry much more. That is a hefty chunk out of your paycheck every single month, and Black physicians and physicians from other backgrounds underrepresented in medicine are likely to have even more debt. A quick tally of the debt of just 8 of the residents that are in this room today came to $1,873,648. So if we want to be able to attract physicians who reflect the diversity of the communities we serve, then we must make residency in New York's public hospitals accessible to everyone, just like our hospitals are for our patients. Yet the city continues to disregard our demands and to misunderstand the very nature of our jobs. Negotiators have costed our compensation packages based on typical city workers who get pensions that we don't have and who work far fewer days every year than we do. We are asking for basic things, increases to our on-call pay, which is added compensation for when we are called in last minute because a co-resident has called out sick, on top of our already grueling schedule. But Adams negotiators have said that they will only meet our on-call demand if we delay our salary increases by 6 months. This is also their response to our demand to pay more into our Patient Care Trust Fund. We're here because we refuse to be forced by Mayor Adams to choose between our patients and ourselves. The future of care for the largest public hospital system in the country is at stake. The truth is that H&H and Mayor Adams can't afford not to do right by the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a, wait, 1 second. You have said the on-call coverage pool needs additional funds to be able to meet the needs of the bargaining unit, right? I hear. So can you explain why the union thinks the current funding isn't enough and why this fund is so important?
Sure, happy to talk about that. So the on-call coverage pool is basically a fund for if a resident calls out sick, and then the other residents are taking on this call burden. So this is a fund that pays for residents who are coming in unexpectedly and taking on extra work to get paid fairly for this. This is something that, you know, we want to get paid if we're being pushed to work beyond our normal hours. And if we are taking extra call shifts, then there is increased burnout when we are working our actual shifts. So, you know, as we mentioned before, we're also not getting any overtime pay. So this is sort of our form of overtime pay. Moonlighting is a completely separate thing outside of the H&H system usually. So this is the closest thing that we have to overtime, and this fund has been depleted, and because of that, we're really asking for H&H to match our demand to increase this fund.
All right. CM Palladino.
Hello. Okay. Anybody who knows me knows I'm really pretty blunt. I want to know how many of you that are here are from New York City and or New York State, by a show of hands. Okay. That's like a handful of you, maybe 8 or 9 out of the room that's full. So a lot of you come from out of state. So it was the initial move, the departure from your families, whether you're from Arizona or California or Louisiana. I also want to know, since this is fairly new to you, the city itself, this environment, is a tremendous change from what you've grown up with or are used to. It's far from warm and cozy. I also want to know, you're talking about your salaries. I'm going to ask you right now, how much do you get paid? What's that? No, I'm not kidding around. I really want to know, what do you get paid? $69,000? $747. And how many of you in this room are married? That's good. What's that?
Or not, it's good or
No,
not.
well,
It's your
well, I'm
choice.
just saying, you know, we look at 67,000, everybody thinks that's a whole lot of money, when it's not. It's just not. You live in New York City, you got to make at least 150 grand a year, and that's to support your wife and maybe one child, and you're just skating by. Working 80 hours a week, no overtime, want to make that very clear, no overtime pay. That's it, flat. So you could work 12 hours, you could work 24 hours, you could work 80 hours. So you're being worked to the bone for $67,000 a year. Okay, want to make that clear. Also, we have our budget hearings coming up. Are you in any way, part of it? Because I'm new to this committee. This is brand new to me. But I'm not brand new to you as residents. I know you very well. I'd like to know, when we do our budget hearings, are any of you in a union? Is there a union for you? And the union is? Okay, good, because you're educating the council member now. So that when I go to bat for you, I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I will make it a point to meet several of you personally, because that's how I handle myself. So thank you very much, everybody.
What did I say? You have said that the city salary proposal will leave H&H the lowest paid in the city by next year. Somebody say that, right? All right. Can you give some examples of how the pay will compare to some of the safety nets?
So we have some of the numbers comparing the HHC contracts for PGY1s who are first-year postgraduate trainees. Bronx Care PGY1s make $83,800, which is about $7,000 a year more than what a PGY1 at Lincoln Hospital would make. At Maimonides, it's about $83,100, which is over $6,000 as the PGY1s at Kings County or South Brooklyn, where I've been. PGY1s at Mount Sinai Morningside also at like $85,200, which is like $8,200 more. These are, in some instances, these house staff are actually working side by side by some of those higher paid house staff because we cross cover sites, and so that's what I think Councilwoman Rivera mentioned about the split payroll staffing of some of our hospitals among house staff. And to give you a more dramatic example, one of the incoming pulmonary and critical care fellows came from New York Presbyterian, which is a more moneyed private system. Him going from his PGY 3-year to his PGY 4-year is actually something like an $18,000, almost $20,000 pay cut as he's advancing his training, because he's coming into an HHC system pay structure where he's coming from a private system, the NYP system. So, and I had to have this conversation with him on the phone about what it means to be a part of HHC, why we're still proud to be here, why I encourage him to continue his training without losing his enthusiasm for it. But it's hard for people because he was working side by side fellows who were paid by NYU who were making more money than he was, even as he's completing his certification in internal medicine and all these things. And it feels like you're not having your efforts that you put forth recognized, and your growth professionally isn't being recognized when you're subjected to a pay structure like this.
Yeah. Also, Rachel and I are both at Bellevue and NYU. We're both Bellevue paid. We're getting $9,000 less than our co-residents and fellows who are doing the same exact work, which is pretty demoralizing when you're working in the same office as somebody making $9,000 more than you. I'd also say, I recently applied for fellowships, and in looking at that in different programs across New York City, I chose to continue working at Bellevue. With that, probably got $20,000 a year less than if I had chosen a lot of other hospitals.
Thank you. And I appreciate your time. Like I said, my son is an orthopedic surgeon, and he had to go through the process. And I understand my husband is a GI, so all this is just, I've been around folks that suffered. And when they tell you, it's very depressing what they have to go through. So thank you for your time, and we are here to fight. As you can see, we have the medical team right here. You have your own team to back you up. So thank you for your time. We've been joined, yes, by CM Gutierrez. Thank you.
Our next panel will be Dr. Lawrence Doyle, Dr. Kara Jordan, Dr. Anna Ressler, and Dr. Salma Sadaf. I'd also like to request that people abide by the 2-minute limit, just because I know we have a lot of folks who want to testify today, and there's another hearing in here at 1. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you so much to the committee. I'm Dr. Anna Rossler, and I'm very proud to work as a resident in the pediatrics department at Jacobi in the Bronx and to be a member of CIR. Like many pediatricians, I chose this specialty because I want to both treat and advocate for children. I believe that health in hospitals stands in contrast to our country's profit-driven, often cruel healthcare system, and so I'm grateful to truly fight for children's health at Jacobi. I am here once again to advocate for my young patients, but also for the people who care for them. Throughout this bargaining process, my co-residents and I have felt insulted, disrespected, and demoralized again and again. It's insulting just how little the city seems to respect our value to the system, to the extent that they're denying us fair pay when we haven't received a raise in almost 4 years. Now we're also not getting paid for working on holidays, and at Jacobi, they took away the limited food options that we had. We're doctors who have sacrificed a lot to do this work, but we're also people. Like many female residents, I spend way more than I should on lifts because I don't feel safe using public transportation at midnight or 2 a.m. If we were better compensated, I wouldn't have to choose between my safety and taking on additional financial stress. In this hospital, we're also contending with understaffing across the board. The city's treatment of our nursing coworkers has resulted in major understaffing of nursing, which is a huge problem for all of us, and it's not right. H&H residents are the front lines of care for the most vulnerable patients in this city, and kids are the most vulnerable. Jacobi is able to do amazing things for the kids of the Bronx, but imagine how much more we could do if we were better resourced. We have patients with all these underlying conditions that are obviously affecting their health, and it's hard when we can't spend enough time with them. If we had more social workers, we would be able to do more for them, but we only have a few in our entire pediatric department. H&H can and does offer so much, and it is an honor to be a part of the largest public healthcare system in the country. We provide great care to everyone, despite not having all the resources. But I'm asking the administration to remember our mission and support the physicians who see it through every day. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Kara Jordan, and I'm a chief resident in pediatrics at NYU in Bellevue. I believe deeply in the mission of this hospital system. I was born and raised in New York City in NYCHA Housing Projects, whose office is here in this building, and I lived there until the day that I went to college. I became a doctor to serve this community specifically, and I come to you today because this health system is at risk of keeping and attracting great doctors to our city. Being a chief resident, I play a major role in the recruitment and retention of future physicians to pediatrics. This past application season this fall has been one of our most challenging. Multiple applicants have told us that our salary is making them consider other programs. Although NYU in Bellevue typically draws applicants from top medical schools such as Harvard, Johns Hopkins, and Yale, we are losing this talent. This year, we interviewed 40 more applicants than we ever have in prior years to accommodate this loss. Some of these losses occurred mid-application season where they withdrew their applications. They would rather risk not matching at all than to come to our program. We are losing the strongest and most passionate of future physicians who we need now more than ever in the post-COVID era where families are fleeing their countries to have a better life here in New York. We as pediatricians want the best for all children. We see ourselves in their families. They are suffering in ways that reach far beyond the hospital. Yet, in spite of the failures of our society for these families, H&H is here to provide a medical home for them, for anyone who finds themselves in New York City. We ask that you value this mission and invest in the people, the residents who keep it running. There are families behind every single patient, and you want the best for your family, as we would for any patient. We need pay parity to attract these physicians. Thank you all.
Good morning, Council. Thank you for having me here. My name is Dr. Lawrence Doyle. I'm a first-year resident in emergency medicine at Metropolitan Hospital and Harlem Hospital emergency rooms. I chose to train at New York Health and Hospitals because I wanted to train in New York, take care of New Yorkers. The diversity of the patients here and their healthcare needs is unique, and you know, it's a place where if anyone who trains in New York will say there's nowhere in the world that can throw something at you that you haven't already seen here in New York. But because we've continued to be denied fair pay, it's becoming a lot harder to attract great physicians to our hospital system. And the reality of it is that we've already missed out on the best applicants for this year's match. And our work is hard enough without the added financial stress. To call the emergency department hectic would be an understatement. But as a resident, we really are the lubricant that keeps the machine running. When there's a gap, we fill it. No job is too small for us, and we do this 12 hours a day, some departments 14, even 24 hours in a row, 6 days a week, holidays, nights, weekends, and some of this stress was offset by holiday pay, which we used to receive, until we were informed that the fund dried up the Tuesday before Thanksgiving in the midst of these negotiations for better pay. This resulted in me personally missing out on $600 of bonuses, and I had to sacrifice buying gifts for my friends and family during the holiday season. It's a small sacrifice to make in the grand scheme of things, but how many sacrifices can we be asked to make? And if Mayor Adams and the Health and Hospital Administration agree to give us the modest increases we're asking for, I know that it'll translate not only into our ability to continue attracting great physicians, but also our ability to care more compassionately and with fewer stressors distracting us from work. I want our system to have the best chance to continue to attract the best doctors. I want that for our teams, for our patients, and for New York. And I believe Mayor Adams should want that too.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Salma Sadaf, and I am a pediatric resident at Kings County. H&H resident physicians and fellows are the background of our hospitals alongside the nurses. You have us overworked and underpaid. It's not cool. And we come into contact with patients the most. We spend all our time with our patients to give them quality health care. And their well-being and H&H's well-being depends on our well-being. And we are not doing well. Most residents suffer from burnout, anxiety, depression, because we are all under so much pressure. Pressure from rising cost of living, unaffordable rent, long hours at work, long commutes, and doing out-of-title tasks. And it is too much. It's too much. And we want our investment in the system. And most critically, H&H residents need to be paid similarly to the residents at the same safety net hospitals. And we are struggling to live in the communities that we serve as doctors. In case my voice isn't enough for you to be convinced, here is the voice of another lifelong New Yorker at H&H resident who couldn't make it today here. I ask you to listen to these voices. Quote, when I started, H&H was full of bright, talented doctors who wanted to provide equitable care to New York City. Now, I'm seeing bright, talented people start to leave. Next year, I have to say with a heavy heart, I will be leaving too. I dreamt of working at a public hospital, taking care of patients like my mother, and I was willing to take the pay cut to do so, but I still have to pay my rent. I'm not asking Mayor Adams to manage my ventilators at 2 a.m. I'm not asking him to work my 24-hour shift. All I'm asking him to do his part so that we get fair wage for our work. Quote closed. I can't believe that these voices that demand fair wages for living life-saving work go unheard and unaddressed by Mayor Adams. And that is what all of us want for all of us, and that is fair wages. Pay us fairly, support the doctors of the city, support New York.
Thank you. I have my colleague, Mama Rado, that I want to ask a question.
Hi, thank you for testifying today. Dr. Rosler, am I saying that correctly? So I live right outside of the Jacoby campus, and you mentioned safety concerns. Is there a concern do you have any concerns about the Just Home Initiative coming to the campus and the increase of crime around the facility?
That doesn't really affect my concern. It's more so just, for me, at least, it's just riding the subway late at night. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Okay. And have they given you a birdie system?
No.
Okay. You should look into that, birdie system.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we are here to support and listen and make sure that we have the best quality healthcare in New York City. And we appreciate your investment in the city of New York. Oh, before I go, CM Gutierrez have a question.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you all so much for your testimony and for everyone else signed up. I had a little bit of a general question on earlier last year. On pay parity. Earlier last year, a number of us went and joined the residents at Elmhurst Hospital on their strike. Elmhurst Hospital is very personal to both Chair Narcisse and I. She worked there. I was born there. I have family that worked there. But I'm hearing that Mount Sinai will cease to be their employer, if that's correct? Okay. And so they're going to be transitioning to H&H. Do you all have a sense of how the salary the city is proposing compares to what the residents were fighting for at Elmhurst?
Thank you. So we have the numbers right here for the contract that they had won for their first year salary for the year of 2025 was $81,207. For H&H for 2025, it's predicted to be $76,984, so it would be a difference of $4,000.
Is that And is there more beyond 2025 that is negotiated? No. No. Okay. So you said it's a $5,000 difference.
4,000.
4,000. I'm sorry. I'm not good at math. Well, please lean on us for support. I think those of us that continue to support residents feel very strongly about pay parity. I remember that this fight for the residents was a long time coming. I think it was a long time since they had ever even thought about a strike. So we are certainly with you. We were out in Woodhall just about a month ago with the residents there. So please continue to lean on us and invite us. And we want to make noise because it really is unacceptable to agree to change the terms of an agreement for residents that are literally serving in our safety net hospitals. And shout out to you, Ms. Jordan, for coming to stay at public hospitals and staying here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. For our next in-person panel, we'll have Dr. Ian Peak, Dr. Matthew Maranta, Tiffany Martin, and Gurkamal Khair. I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
Nice to meet everyone on the committee. My name is Dr. Ian Peak. I'm a first-year obstetrician gynecology resident at Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn. I moved here from Oklahoma, so New York is very new to me. And I think the biggest shock to me coming here is just not being able to afford anything, even a place to live. I moved here with another med student from my program. We both went to the same medical school, and currently in our household, we have an $11,000 just about difference in pay as first-year residents. We work at 2 separate hospitals in Brooklyn, and he makes more than a fourth-year resident does at our current program in our program. So other things that I would point out is just the hours. I'm literally losing sleep right now. I worked a 13-hour shift last night. I got off at 7 a.m. this morning. I have to be back at 6 p.m. tonight for another 13-hour shift. My week started with a 24-hour shift on Sunday, and it has been every single night since then. I just think that our pay is not adequate for the amount of work that we do. We need better opportunity to live close to the hospital so we're not commuting so far and passing out on the subway. I'm so tired all the time as a first-year resident. And I think that's collective for everyone here. So please hear that and take that into account.
I hope you get some sleep tonight.
Hi, my name is Dr. Maranta. I'm actually from Queens, and I'm a resident at NYU. So just to put it on the record, I'm laughing a little bit right now because H&H spent so much time talking about the Helping Healers Heal program. One, I've never heard of that. Granted, we've been all just so pissed about this pay parity, but just to get into my speech, so I'm at NYU where they list their salary at $79,500, but I'm on the Bellevue payroll, so the pay is actually $69,747. So that's around $10,000 less than my co-residents who do the same exact job, but we're just lucky enough to get placed on the NYU payroll. What's even less unfortunate is that we were told to wait for pay parity, but Mayor Adams and the H&H administration have sat on our needs for so long with an expired contract. So we weren't even able to get holiday pay this year. Guess what? I worked Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I actually love working a share of my training at Bellevue. It's really tough. I get called faggot. I get spat at. People try to punch me, but they also come to me to talk about suicide. They talk to me about how to connect to housing, how to get into rehab, how to start a new life. Without Bellevue and the rest of H&H, this city just to be very frank, would be drowning in death and despair. And I hope you guys understand how serious that is. We're very interconnected to the homelessness issue, substance disorders, public health, and really everything that you see in New York City. The subway would look a lot different if we did not exist. We treat the most vulnerable, but we're also vulnerable. We have to pay rent just as like everyone else does, and now we have to pay student loans. So that's something that is of concern. There's just really no excuse. The fact that you guys have been waiting for so long to address this pay parity, and I really need you guys to fight for us because I'm a little bit over it.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and we hear you loud and clear.
At this moment, we will call some of the next panel for Zoom testimony. Could we please have Dr. Anton Shurenka, Dr. Comfort Anim Korateng, Dr. Ethan Abrushamian, and Dr. Louis Aguilar Montevalin? Thank you.
You may begin.
Hello, my name is Anton Shkrenka. I am a resident physician in anesthesiology at Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn. All we're asking today for fair pay to allow us simply survive in the most expensive city in the world. I'm one of the few H&H residents who is lucky to at least live in rent-stabilized apartment, but still my lease went up by historical maximum of 3% for the second year in a row. How can Mayor Adams think it's okay for my rent to go up 3% and for my coworkers' rent to go up much more than that, but not to give us city workers a fair contract? Is he not aware? Currently, my rent is 70% of my salary, and again, I'm one of the lucky ones. There is not much money left for other bills and food. We ask not for a luxury life, but simply to survive. This will allow us to be physically and mentally healthier, which is in turn important in terms of the care we're able to provide to our underserved community. Would you want your mother, your aunt, your grandchildren to be seen by doctors who do not have what they need to ensure that they themselves are healthy? We are exhausted from commuting long distances on top of our 8-hour work week. What kind of message does that send to Brooklyn, to Manhattan, to the Bronx about the importance of our community health? As CIR members, we refuse to allow this status quo to continue. We demand pay parity with our safety net peers. We demand that the city invest in its public hospitals and its workers in the health of our communities. Thank you to the committee for giving us this platform and for your support in our fight to ensure H&H doctors can care for themselves.
Thank you. Your time has
Take care
expired.
for the people of New York.
Dr. Comfort Anim Korateng, please go ahead.
All right. Hello, thanks to the committee. My name is Dr. Comfort Anim Cranton, and I'm a resident physician in internal medicine at Harlem Hospital. As things stand, I can't afford apartment close to Harlem because the price is an average of $2,000 and rising all the time. And that is more than 50% of my monthly salary. And this is before utilities. So I need to live further away, which comes with the stress and fatigue of commuting, not to talk about the scare when shootings recently occurred at my subway station a few days ago, and knowing how often I have to commute home late at night. But even more than that, on top of the daily fatigue of residency in the system, on top of all the financial stresses and burdens, simply knowing you are being paid so much less than colleagues in other safety net hospitals is incredibly demoralizing. As others have said, I'm out of here. I'm leaving New York the night I finish my residency. And this is the feeling of most of my colleagues as well. I think it is a tragedy, and I think Mayor Adams and our administration should feel the same way. We have worked so hard to care for our patients and to learn how to provide great care in this particular community. And now H&H will lose us as physicians, and that would only keep happening, unfortunately. But what is hardest of all is knowing that I can't even give my toddler everything that I want to give them as a parent while I complete my residency with H&H. I can't afford to send my 2-year-old to daycare because by the time I pay my rent, utilities, insurance, groceries, my salary has run out. My parents usually encourage me to send her to school, but my honest answer is I can't afford it. We really do appreciate the opportunity to start residency with H&H hospitals. But all we ask is pay parity to ease off the financial burden we face so we can stay here, so that we don't have to uproot ourselves from the communities we have served through our residency.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we please have Dr. Ethan Abrashamian speak next?
You may begin.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ethan Abrashamian, and I'm a resident doctor. I'm here to make an urgent appeal on behalf of my fellow resident doctors to the mayor and to our administration about the critical need for a fair contract. We as residents doctors are already in financial struggles due to student loans, limited ability to take part-time income generated opportunities due to the long hours we work, the cost of living, it's the fact that establishing a medical career takes a long process and earning your first salary takes a long time. We often need to relocate, which costs extra expenses. We have family obligations. These financial difficulties not only affect our personal lives, but also our ability to provide optimal care to the community. With a fair contract, we can allocate more resources towards our education, enhancing our efficiency of healthcare to our patients. Furthermore, it empowers residents to separate financial concerns from patient care. To the mayor and our administration, consider a scenario where you arrive to the hospital with an urgent medical issue, firmly believing it requires immediate attention and treatment. Now picture being told by the resident doctor that your concerns are not deemed valid, leading to a delay in receiving necessary treatment. Wouldn't that be unjust? Wouldn't you question whether the person is truly attentive to your needs? This mirrors the challenges faced by our resident doctors. Working diligently in the bustling city of Brooklyn, we as doctors are expected to operate efficiently without unnecessary delays. In turn, we seek the same urgency from our employers in responding promptly with a fair contract. It is imperative that a fair contract is implemented that reflects and recognizes our tireless efforts, vital contributions to the healthcare system, and rising cost of living in Brooklyn and New York City. Time is critical, and we cannot tolerate further postponements. Pay equity with the private sector is not just a desire we have, but a necessity for our well-being. Thank you to the committee for your attention to this critical issue.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please have Dr. Luis Aguilar Montevalin speak next?
You may begin.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, council members, for your time. I'm Dr. Aguilar Montalvan, and I'm an emergency medicine resident physician at Jacobi. Early in my medical school years, a mentor told me that medicine is a business. Doctors are turning into customer service vendors, and if you want to make money, don't go into medicine. Some of the aspects are true, but I love what I do, and my desire to help patients sort of has helped me push through a field that has so much of me physically, mentally, and emotionally. Residency has been as tough as expected, but I think working for the H&A system in particular is affecting my desire to remain working in a safety net hospital, caring for the underserved communities. It's a shame and a huge systemic failure. The communities in H&H serves are what brought me to medicine in the first place. These are the communities that I represent. I'm a first-generation immigrant, and I also come from a low socioeconomic background. But these are the communities that lack well-intended, passionate, and culturally competent physicians who will stick for the long term. Doctors like me who come through these communities and finally become their doctors are so battered by 12 years of training, overworked, chronically underpaid, that by the end of residency are left wondering if we are already giving back enough. Do I have more of myself to give? Is it fair to keep asking my wife to keep living day by day? And why is New York City making it so difficult to serve the underserved? During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, we ran ourselves to the ground. And this allowed H&H to by and large respond very well to the many needs of our communities in that moment. So why, 4 years later, we're still required to keep performing under near empty tank as if this is the new normal, and when we are working with record high volumes of patients who are sicker and come with more medical complex situations. Here, Major Adams thank us, and while telling us a fair contract is impossible, makes it very difficult to recommend H&H to future residents, fellows, and attendings. I love what I do, and I would choose emergency medicine all over again, but I'm not sure that I will come back to H&H under the contract proposed by the city. This should matter enough to the mayor. It should matter, and our patients should matter enough to Major Adams to finally do the right thing and correct course before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now shift back to our final in-person registrants. Dr. Dominique Noriega, Dr. Donald Hathaway, Dr. Shane Soldier, Dr. Sandeep Sasidaran, and Dr. Dinesh Nirmal. Please come up.
Hello. My name is Dr. Dominique Noriega. I'm an OBGYN resident at Bellevue Hospital. My partner and I are both on Bellevue payroll, along with 30% of our NYU/Bellevue residency colleagues. Every month, over 50% of our paychecks go to rent. We tried to pay less while still living close by last year, but the living conditions were much worse. While working up to 80 hours a week, we came home to face frequent rodent issues, including a rat who once chewed through our window and entered our home in front of us. Our dog subsequently became sick with acute leptospirosis and had to go to the Animal Medical Center uptown. It's just not sustainable to worry about the basics when I'm also trying to care for my patients. It's routine to come in like 2 hours before shift to give proper time to round on all my patients on the postpartum wing. It's normal to get a surprise text that now I'm on a 24-hour shift. If an APP mid-level is out, we pick up that slack. After a pandemic, amid this inflation, this maternal mortality crisis in this very city, where my Black and Latina patients are over 2 times more likely to die than my white pregnant patients, while suffering a series of hospital closures despite routinely surging patient volumes when Brooklyn needs downstate and patients are just being told to go to the nearest H&H. Our hospitals are more critical than ever, but the mayor's current contract proposal is not sustainable for us. I want to be able to tell future residents that they can serve a New York in a mission-driven system and pay their bills. I can't promise that. Furthermore, studies show that incoming residents from historically underrepresented groups in medicine face more financial stress and debt. Our city must make these programs accessible to all physicians coming in, especially those who reflect our city's diversity. Creating a fair contract with CIR is an opportunity for Mayor Adams to show the world that New York cares about its community. For H&H to remain a beacon, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Narcisse, and the committee staff for holding this hearing. My name is Dr. Shane Solger, and I'm a CIR Regional Vice President for the H&H system and an emergency medicine and internal medicine resident at Kings County. Advancing patient care has always been at the forefront of the union's mission. In 1981, following cuts to the H&H system, CIR members chose to forego their own raises in order to create the Patient Care Trust Fund, which redirected our pay to deliver better care to our patients. This was not created by Mitch Katz, as H&H had suggested. In its last grant year, the Patient Care Trust Fund approved more than $700,000 in grants for projects aimed at improving patient care across H&H. Funds were directed towards new equipment, educational materials, research projects, and community projects that will impact the care that we can provide to 750,000 New Yorkers. One of our asks at the bargaining table has been for the city to increase its contributions to the Patient Care Trust Fund to keep this fund alive so that we can make sure that we have the equipment needed to provide excellent care every day. Unfortunately, the mayor's negotiators have told us they will only accept our proposal if we pay for it ourselves. However, I was happy to hear from H&H when they were speaking their testimony that they believe that the fund deserves more money, but we do not believe that that money should come from our pockets and from our contract. We should not have to choose between advancing patient care and our own well-being. It's impossible to separate those two. We've poured countless hours into our efforts to improve language access throughout Kings County. Through that work, CIR won 24/7 Haitian Creole video interpretation services, free training for staff to become certified interpreters, 3 staff lines allocated for in-person interpreters, and the purchase of 60 new video interpretation devices. And again, I want to thank Councilmember Narcisse and all the other council members that supported us in our fight for language justice. But that being said, what if, instead of forcing overworked junior physicians to fight for basic tools, equipment, and staffing, our city invested properly in its public hospitals? And what if, instead of making us use the time we have left after an 80-hour work week in bargaining sessions, month after month, the mayor did right by us and agreed to a fair contract? The mayor needs to invest in our public hospitals and reach a fair contract agreement without pitting patient care against the well-being of residents. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Donald Hathaway. My name is Dr. Donald Hathaway, and I'm an emergency medicine resident at Lincoln in the South Bronx, consistently one of the top 5 busiest emergency departments in the country. I'm also a member of the CIR bargaining team. I too would like to talk about the Patient Care Trust Fund. Just as our predecessors fought for the creation of this fund 40 years ago, we are fighting again for investments into our public hospitals at a time when our system is bursting at the seams. As an intern, I first got a feel for the community I'd be working in at Lincoln through one of CIR's community-led walking tours, a patient care trust-funded project that helps incoming physicians get to know the neighborhood in which they'll be providing care. Coming from a small rural town in Louisiana, I knew nothing about New York City. This past year, I served as one of the tour guides. While residents made their way around the neighborhood surrounding their new hospital, our main guide emphasized how much institutional racism impacts our patients' health. New physicians see the evidence of divestment in the South Bronx all around them, the lack of trash cans, lack of green spaces, of banks and grocery stores. But we also learn about the ways this community organizes and fights back. Failing to invest in CIR physicians who care for our city's Black and brown communities and in this pivotal fund that advances care for working New Yorkers, that is the same kind of divestment. I'd like to share a story of one of my fellow residents to show the human toll of this divestment. My colleague says, I recently injured my ankle and have been forced to wear a boot for the past 4 weeks. I live close enough that I've always walked to work, but with a boot, that is not possible. I've had to use Lyft to get to and from work. I had $80 to last me for 1 week between pay periods, so I made do. I paid my rent and I starved myself, eating 1 meal a day while working 12-hour shifts a week. When it snowed, I knew I couldn't afford the price gouging that occurs with Lyft in the inclement weather, so I left my boot at work and walked the 15 minutes to my house in the snow in excruciating pain. My question is, how can the mayor ask us to choose between our patient care and pay parity with our peers to help us meet our basic needs? I find it absurd, disappointing, and unbelievably disheartening that our city would even propose we make this choice. We refuse to do so. We demand real investments in us and in our communities, and we demand it now.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity to testify. My name is Sandeep Sasidaran. I am a Chief Nephrology Fellow at Kings County and a proud CIR member. As a union, CIR has always fought for what we need to provide great care for our communities, and I'm proud to be able to do that once again in this forum. HNH residents are truly the best of physicians around the country. Many had their pick of where to go, and yet they decided to take the stress on and to work in this system because they feel connected to this community and want to care for these patients. We want to care for the patients who lack healthcare, who have complex health needs. We believe everyone has a basic human right to great healthcare. We are passionate, we are dedicated. There is so much we have to learn, so many ways we have to adapt to provide for care for our patients, and we are happy to do it. At King's, predominantly our patients are non-English speaking, like French Creole or Bangladeshi. When I came here from Massachusetts, I started learning different languages to communicate with my patients and their family. As an immigrant, I'm happy to serve so many of my immigrant patients. Still, we do not have good language access, and CIR doctors have had to fight to improve this, and the emergency department has won major victories on this. As others have said, we do a ton of tasks out of our scope because of understaffing. This is all the time. We could be furthering our education in order to be better physicians. And now, the potential downstate closing. It's a huge stressor because we are already bursting at the seams. In this moment, more than ever, as our patients' loads continue to grow, Mayor Adams cannot let health and hospital bleed talented, compassionate doctors who are committed with the heart and soul to the mission of this system. Does he want to be the mayor who lets care of H&H deteriorate? Every time in CAR 60-year history, the New York public hospitals have come under attack from politicians bound more to corporate interests than their constituents. CR physicians have fought back. We have done so alongside H&H nurses and our community. We are not afraid to do that again. We are glad to have the support of this community as we fight to hold our mayor and H&H administration accountable to the future of public health for New York, which starts with a fair contract for the CAR physicians. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Dinesh Nirmal. I'm a resident physician from Kings County. As many others have already said today, we are here because we care deeply about the people of New York. We care deeply about our patients and about the communities our hospitals serve. We are fighting for ourselves and for them. All of us choose to do our medical training at H&H because we wanted to care for the working people, the poor people, and immigrants. We wanted to provide great care to everyone regardless of their immigration status, their insurance coverage, how much money they have to their name. We wanted to provide compassionate care to people who are perpetually left behind and shut out of economic security and even basic housing, folks who have been incarcerated, houseless folks, refugees, and their children. What is Major Adams choosing to do? He's willing, apparently, to let H&H residents be the lowest paid in the city, which we know will directly impact our ability to recruit the best physicians who share our passion for this work. One of the best things about Kings County is not just the patient population, but the staff that works there. We have a very diverse patient population and we learn a lot from them every day. And the staff is also extremely diverse, which means you have a lot of different perspectives and experiences. This helps us connect better with our patients as well. Patients feel more comfortable when they engage with physicians of diverse backgrounds, and patients have told me this directly. Studies show too that the way patients perceive their care at the hospitals affects the clinical outcomes. When patients feel more comfortable, they are happier, which positively impacts their healing. But we are under so much pressure and it becomes extremely difficult to imagine encouraging incoming physicians to come to H&H, especially as the city refuses to agree to CAR's very basic demand for pay parity with residents at other safety net hospitals. I would also like to add that the housing at Jacoby that H&H had mentioned earlier, residents are not allowed to live in it. The mayor must do the right thing so that we can continue to attract great doctors, so that we can feel supported when they are here. That is the way we safeguard this vital system, and that is how we respect the people who power it. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. That's all right. Can you tell us more about the Patient Care Trust Fund and the purpose it serves? How is funding allocated to PCTF?
So I can speak to that. So every year there's a couple of cycles. There's a couple of components to it. There's a research component and then there's a funds grant. And so I'll use an example. Recently we were able to get portable hearing aids for elderly patients at Kings County. And so myself as a resident, I submit a request and a justification, and then that goes to a committee that reviews all of the requests across the H&H system. And from that, they have to kind of like cherry pick what they think is the most justified as they're kind of triaging the resources of the Patient Care Trust Fund. I believe it was also used to create a community garden outside of Kings County as another example of kind of like a wellness project. And we've also, I'll speak mostly to Kings County because that isn't what I'm familiar with. We have a lot of great sim equipment for our obstetrics and gynecology colleagues as well as our surgeons, so that in their off, air quotes, off time, when they have maybe some downtime in the hospital, they can go and practice a lot of the technical techniques as opposed to learning it firsthand on a patient. It's probably best that you learn it in a safer, less bloody environment. We also have a lot of sim equipment that we've been able to get for it, especially coming from the emergency medicine side of things. We have a lot of central line trainers, and those are just some examples of how it's been used.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll call our next in-person panel. Dr. Eduardo Vatimo and Dr. Patrick Lundy, please come up to speak.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Patrick Lundy. I'm a first-generation Haitian American, the first doctor in my family, and a resident physician in psychiatry at Bellevue, where I'm proud to take care of the people of New York. I'm also a very proud member of CIR. Every day, residents do anything and everything to ensure our patients receive world-class care that everyone deserves. Our hospitals could not run without us. Yet the city thinks we should be the lowest paid resident physicians in New York City. With nearby hospital closings and an increased workload on already struggling residents, how will we attract the best applicants? How will we convince them to take peanuts of a salary in comparison to other New York City programs? I rank Bellevue Hospital high on my match list because I'm committed to their mission of providing high-value care with dignity, sensitivity, and compassion, regardless of patients' ability to pay. But since I can't afford to move to New York City, I take a light rail, train, and bus to get to and from work, which takes an hour if the transfers line up and if there are no delays. So even when I'm already working 12-hour plus shifts, it really ends up being 14-hour plus shifts that I'm away from home. This leaves 10 hours at best to eat, sleep, and maybe have some free time. I'm tired all of the time. My co-residents are tired all of the time. As psychiatrists, we shoulder a tremendous emotional burden, especially when we're seeing folks who have been through so much. New York City toughness sometimes comes with New York City trauma. We support and treat our unhoused brothers and sisters who are constantly fighting for survival, those in contact with the criminal legal system, the recently immigrated refugees processing the tribulations of their journey, the LGBTQ community dealing with bigotry, amongst other vulnerable populations. I want to help manage my patients' mental health, but I can't even do that for myself. If we had a living wage, if I could just shorten my commute maybe, we would be better equipped to handle the emotional weight of our jobs without burning ourselves out. Thank you.
Thank you. And my son is Patrick too, Patrick Narcisse.
It's a good name.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Eduardo Vatimo. I'm a resident physician in psychiatry at Kings County. I'm very proud to work in this hospital system at Kings. We really do treat everyone regardless of their ability to pay, and it's an honor to do that. We treat people from all over the world, and they have their own social determinants of health. So many factors impact them before we see them. We learn a lot working with these patients, but also they have complex cases, and it's really stressful. They keep coming back to the hospital because their basic needs are not met. The same is true for many residents. Housing is just as food is a top human priority, and it's not okay if your rent is going up 30%, like one of my colleagues told me this year, and you might lose your apartment. This leads to anxiety, ruminations, a mental energy that the residents should be dedicating to patient care, not to this problem. We that are immigrant physicians and physicians from different backgrounds represented in medicine often struggle the most to afford to do our residency here. Our spouses cannot work in their professions, for example. The mayor needs to pay attention to that because the great strength of our H&H system is that we attract people from diverse backgrounds who can treat these diverse patients. We have residents that speak Arabic. My native language is Portuguese. I speak Italian too, and I can treat and understand people that speak Spanish. We are able to provide much better quality of care, but now we are risking not attracting people with the best applicants. A colleague from Brazil just said that he won't rank our program high because of the pay here, and he's afraid that he will not able to afford living here with his wife, who is an engineer, but who cannot work here. So you're here today because we think patients need better care and deserve our work, and this cannot wait. Thank you.
Thank you. And Gabrielle said hello, Patrick.
Hi.
Hi, they're watching you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will now transition to the Zoom registrants. Dr. Mike Sadilo, can you please start?
You may begin.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I am on shift right now in the emergency room, but I will make this brief. My name is Dr. Mike Spadillo. I am a third-year emergency medicine physician at Coney Island Hospital, well, South Brooklyn Health now that it's been renamed. This hearing is really crucial for us, and I appreciate the committee, and especially Council Member Narcisse for making this happen for us. We can't do what we continue to do for our patients if we're not able to get this contract resolved. At this moment, in the middle of the winter, cold and flu season, very busy in the emergency room, our mayor still fails to properly support the migrants and refugees who are coming to our city for safety and shelter. Many of which have been spending a lot of time outside on the streets in the refugee camps, such as Floyd Bennett Field, which is near our hospital. And we're under more pressure than ever to provide these treatments for these patients in addition to our usual patients that we see from our community. We are being pushed to our limits, our hospital system's being pushed to our limits, and we're under more pressure than ever to provide the best care in a timely manner for all of our patients. And on top of that, we're dealing with the cost of living, which is increasing, the cost of rent, just daily common things that we need to buy for ourselves and for our families in order to survive. With the cost of living increasing and our salaries staying the same, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to be the doctors that we should be, to get the sleep that we need, to get the nutrition that we need, to eat healthy, to sleep right, to get exercise, which is all the things that we push on our patients to help them improve their lives as well. I'd like to share a story from one of my fellow H&H residents that further illustrates the stress that we go through and undergo during our current situation. As a resident in New York City and a father of two, I relocated to the United States seeking superior training opportunities and a more prosperous life. However, the reality has starkly differed.
Thank you. Time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I apologize for mispronouncing your name, Dr. Sadillo. Next, we have Dr. Dina Jaber, and if we could please have Dr. Victor Sanchez on deck after Dr. Jaber. Thank you.
You may begin.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much again to the committee and Councilmember Narcisse. I'm Dr. Dina Jaber, and I am a chief resident at Kings County. I'm also a regional vice president for CIR. So I've been at Kings County for about 6 years now, and through that time, I've seen again and again how important the system is and how much we're able to do for this city in spite of the lack of investment at every level. I'm currently actually testifying remotely because I'm actually having to look for jobs outside of the system right now. And this is because I feel that over these years, despite my love for the work and my patience, I feel that I've been undervalued at Kings County and H&H. You know, we are tired, we've been underpaid, and we can no longer afford to stay within the system. We have some crushing student debt, and we can't afford to pay for our loan repayments on the current salary, in addition to the rising cost of living, the amount of day-to-day needs, everything that's rising, and our salaries are not meeting that. We often find ourselves putting so much time and energy into our patients and this patient population that I absolutely love, and it's actually heartbreaking to this year start telling some of my patients that I will no longer be seeing them in clinic. And after knowing them for the last 4 years, only to leave them because I can't afford to stay. I work in this hospital system because we care for everyone, and I'm proud of that. And I want to live here and want to continue to take care of my patients and live in a city that cares for the healthcare workers in the way that we care for our patients. And so I wish that we were more valued and encouraged to stay. But unfortunately, if Mayor Adams isn't able to meet us on some of these demands, like we need to be able to build something together instead of pushing our physicians away. Sierra physicians in the communities have always fought for the public hospitals. Our nursing coworkers were in a fight last year. We supported them, and so here we are in our fight now. And the mayor should know what to expect by now. We know
Thank you.
that
Time has expired.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Next, can we please have Dr. Victor Sanchez speak? And on deck, we have Dr. George Danias. Thank you.
You may begin.
I would love to let people to speak fully, but we are due for time. The room are being used by next committee.
Hello all. Thank you to the committee and the council for this opportunity. My name is Dr. Victor Sanchez Alemani. I'm a surgery resident at Metropolitan Hospital in the city. Residency is already hard enough as it is. And with the city current offer, we would make about $5,000 less than our peers at other safety net hospitals by next year. And the gap between our pay and the residents at places like Columbia, Cornell, NYU, like the first panel was saying, it's even greater. It's about $10,000, $15,000 a year at same level physicians, which it feels outrageous to us. Do our patients matter less? Do we matter less than those residents? Some of our residents were here, including myself, during the COVID pandemic in 2020. And we saw, and we still seeing these nowadays, we still see traveling nurses making more in a 12-hour shift than we make in one entire week working 80 hours. I'm gonna say that again, making more money in a 12-hour shift as a travel nurse than a physician resident makes in an entire week working 80 hours. Residents, right alongside our nursing coworkers, drive our hospitals and make them function, like we have said already. We already face the intrinsic difficulties and challenges that working in these city hospitals entails. Fair pay that compares to any other hospital in our city is of paramount importance to keep us safe and to prioritize our well-being and empower our formation in the best doctors we can be for our communities. We should finish residency as passionate, dedicated doctors, devoted to serving people who may not be able to get care anywhere else, because we train at Health and Hospital, thanks to Health and Hospital, not in spite of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, can we please have Dr. George Danias speak? And after that, John Keller will be on deck. Thank you.
You may begin.
Hey everyone, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Dr. George Danias, and I'm a resident physician in psychiatry at Bellevue and a proud member of CIR. I'm also a New Yorker, born and raised. Like thousands of residents physicians across the city's public hospitals, financial stress is the norm for me. I'm just barely able to pay rent in my own city. My bank account gets drained every month with nothing going to savings, let alone enough to afford a weekend trip to get away from the city for a bit on my rare weekend off. By the way, to answer a prior question, a golden weekend is when we have both Saturday and Sunday off. In other words, a normal weekend for most people. It's golden for us because of how rare it is. The truth is, I'm so burned out from working so many hours, and I have no ability to work towards alleviating that because of finances. I, a psychiatry intern, even struggle to find a therapist I could afford for my mental health. This pill is even more bitter to swallow when some of my peers doing the exact same job are making thousands of dollars more for the exact same work. So many others are in the same boat as me. Here's the story of another resident, and I quote, "Last year, I became an intern at Lincoln Hospital. I embarked on this journey excited, ready to take on this next chapter in my life. However, I soon became anxious about how I was going to afford life in New York City on a resident's salary. I had sold my car prior to coming to New York, but that only covered moving expenses and 3 weeks in a temporary rental. Once I tried to get on the subway to get back home and my card declined. I checked my bank account and it was negative. My student loan payment was what sent me over. I walked home over 50 blocks to a studio apartment with no food in it. I went to work hungry the next day and ate a sandwich out of the pantry that was labeled, 'Do not eat, for patients only.' But how did they expect me to care for patients when I was running on no food and experiencing debilitating anxiety? I called my one friend from medical school who was also in the city at Cornell. I asked him how he was affording life these days. He told me that he made close to $90,000 and had a housing stipend. I felt even worse."
Thank you. Time has expired.
Thank you very much. Can we please have Mr. John Keller speak? And on deck, we will have Dr. Abdelrahman Habiba. Thank you.
You may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And my name is John Keller. I'm first vice chair of Manhattan Community Board 6, and it's particularly great to see Councilmember Carlina Rivera here today. She's a valued and active partner of Manhattan Community Board 6. Just want to report to you that on February 15th, we sent a communication to the Office of the Mayor and Borough President Levine about a resolution that we passed supporting the Committee of Interns and Residents, CIR, at Bellevue Hospital and associated NYC H&H hospital facilities in their contract negotiations. Recognizing the pay disparity is a particular concern to us, but also realizing that this would deprive Bellevue Hospital of the ability to recruit mission-driven medical school graduates that our safety net hospitals need, and that these are doctors who regularly work 65 to 70 hours per week. And with Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital possibly closing, the staff will be stretched even further by increased patient numbers. So therefore, our resolution resolved that Manhattan Community Board 6 supports the Committee of Interns and Residents, CIR, in their contract negotiations so that the intern and resident doctors receive competitive compensation to continue to recruit and retain the best physicians to provide optimal patient care. The resolution passed without opposition, and it certainly has my full support as someone who was well taken care of in the ER at Bellevue last summer. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Dr. Abdulrahman Habiba, please speak. And on deck, we have Dr. Marwa Maita. Thank you.
You may begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Abdulrahman Habiba, and I'm a John Surgery Lincoln resident and a proud CIR member. It's no secret how much residents are underpaid and overworked, but that's not what distinguishes us NYCHHC residents from other residents around the country. What makes us different is that we are residents in one of simultaneously the most important and the most stretched healthcare system in the United States. From handing sandwiches to patients, I'm sure my ED residents would correlate, to transporting them ourselves to their respective destinations, including the operating room in dire times because of staff shortages. We do it all. And we do it all often 6 days a week, exhausted, while struggling to meet our own basic needs. In one recent incident, because of staff shortages and lack of wound care nurses at Lincoln, I had to put on a dressing on an obese gentleman's leg by myself, without the help of anyone. He happened to be intoxicated and fell on me. This patient weighed over 300 pounds. Now, I love my job. I love my patients. I wouldn't change anything. But all we're asking for as residents is fair compensation. I can't be worried about paying rent while having a roommate as a 35-year-old man working 80 hours a week, all while residents across the country and in New York are paid better and are less stressed. I urge the H&H administration to use its power to push Mayor Adams to do right by us and to reconsider his stance in negotiations. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Dr. Marwa Maita, please speak when ready. And on deck, we'll have Dr. Vishvavel. Thank you.
You may begin.
Hello, I want to thank the committee for allowing me the opportunity to share my story. I'm Dr. Marwa Maita, first-year podiatry resident at Bellevue Hospital. Along with the co-resident speaking here today, I do everything I can to maximize patient outcomes. Despite this, I feel a sense of defeat and a sense of incredible guilt working in this system, knowing that so much of my patients' health I cannot ultimately change. I can't fix the poverty they face, the homelessness, criminalization, cruel and racist immigration policies. That, coupled with the daily workload, it's no wonder my co-residents and I are so burnt out. That burnt out directly extends into our personal lives. We face the same issues that our patients do, which, no, sadly cannot be solved with mindful yoga courses, regardless of how much I wish that could be true. There's no housing nearly close enough to the hospital that I can afford. I travel 2 hours to and from the hospital each day, explained by our pay, which is the lowest across all New York City hospitals, despite the fact that we carry more patients. So many of my patients are uninsured, with a number of social determinants of health that statistically suggest poor outcomes, things I can't control, structural forces outside of the hospital, yet we debunk those statistics at H&H each and every day, the cost of which is our well-being. H&H is able to provide the care that it does to whoever needs it, in large because of the burden that the residents carry. We not only perform at the highest standard of care inside the hospital, but we bear the burden that shouldn't be ours outside of it. We spend our little free time planning bargaining sessions to make sure not only are we supported, but for the hospital to also continue to deliver quality of care for the future. Imagine how H&H residents could use the time and energy if people like Mayor Adams invested in the health of our communities, if our city properly resourced its public hospitals so we wouldn't have to spend it fighting for basic things like ultrasounds. The mayor can start by paying H&H residents fairly by lessening the burden in this one small way. We carry the health of the city, and Eric Adams needs to support us before we collapse under this weight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Vishvavel, please start when ready. And on deck, we'll have Dr. Melissa Tabor. Thank you.
You may begin.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vishvavel. I'm a psychiatry resident at Metropolitan. I moved from Texas for residency. I was incredibly excited to work at NYC Health and Hospitals and care for such a diverse population. However, the financial burdens of living in Manhattan near the hospital took a toll on me. I soon discovered my entire paycheck was going to rent and utilities. My partner was forced to put her education on pause to help ensure we had enough money to put food on the table. My savings account had 15 cents left. I feel more fulfilled working a job than I'd ever felt before, even as a student. I've held off on going to the doctor even when I've been so sick that I could barely stand because of my worry over a $10 copay. $10. I currently live in Manhattan, but will likely be moving to another borough soon because of our difficulty making ends meet. What will likely be a 50-minute commute for me in the future will be exhausting and add time to my workday, but I have no choice. My mental health from the stress of worrying about whether I can pay for my basic necessities while working around the clock has caused me to become depressed. I feel like a husk. How am I supposed to care for the most vulnerable of New York City if I can barely take care of myself? That is my question to Mayor Adams and my Health and Hospitals Administration. They owe us an answer, and they owe us fair pay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Dr. Melissa Tabor will go now, and then on deck we'll have Dr. Nick Frazette. Thank you.
You may begin.
Just walking to a quiet place. I'm Dr. Melissa Tabor. I'm an anesthesia resident at Bellevue. I'm also the mother to an amazing 2-year-old. So this morning I woke up before 5 a.m. I got myself ready, got out the door, took my hour-long commute to Bellevue. It was a late morning, so this was slightly later than I usually even get up. Got in, got ready for the day today, and when I get home later, sometime between 4 to 6 o'clock, my son at that point would have gone to school, been picked up by the au pair that we have, and I will get to spend some time with him, put him to sleep at 7:30, and then my husband and I will start on all of our chores for the evening, cooking, cleaning, getting our lives back together. My husband is also a resident in the H&H system. He is working at Jacoby, and so we are on the same payroll, and we are working with the same kind of issues right now. So we live very exhausting lives because we live so far from where we work. When we started residency, a lot of our conversations were about where we were going to live. At that point, I was pregnant, and so we knew that there was going to be financial and logistical things to figure out. And we ended up in Queens because we couldn't afford Manhattan, even though that meant a much longer commute for us. Most of my post-tax salary goes to childcare because while I work 60 plus hours a week, my husband works 60, 70 hours a week, we need childcare for that. And so we are spending $40,000 a year on one child's childcare. I don't know what we would do without 2 incomes. And I don't know how we would have afforded to pay back loans had they not been on pause for so long. I don't think the math would have mathed, and I don't think we would have been okay. Throughout bargaining, I've gotten more and more frustrated. There is a representative that has, done math to suggest that we work less than 200 days a year, when most of us work 250, if not more. They've talked about a pension in their costing that we don't even have. Sorry, what? Is that the 2 minutes? Sorry.
We didn't
Expired.
answer.
Time has
has expired.
expired, but thank you so much for your testimony. Next, could we please have Dr. Nick Frazette, and on deck we'll have Dr. Fool Iqbal. Thank you.
You may begin.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Nicholas Frazzetti. I'm a proud member of CIR. I'm a resident in pathology at Bellevue Hospital. I'm actually calling in from Bellevue right now, where I've been since 7 o'clock this morning, and I'll probably be until about 7 o'clock tonight. These 12-hour days, this is a short day for me and for many of my colleagues. And because I can't afford to live in the community that I serve, my best case short days quickly become 14 hours or more when you factor in commuting. This leaves precious little time to engage in basic human necessities like eating, cleaning, taking care of myself, sleeping, let alone any time to socialize or better myself as a physician for my patients by studying. And that's not to mention the limited financial resources I have to engage in any of those activities as well. I cannot follow the advice that we give to patients, the best medical advice that we give to patients. It's simply an untenable situation that residents are facing across the H&H system. I'd also like to share very quickly the story of a colleague of mine, an international medical graduate, who, in addition to facing a lot of the difficult choices that residents have discussed today, layers on the financial burden of visa applications to keep herself eligible to work in this amazing system. You know, coming to New York City into H&H was a dream for her, the multicultural center that this city and that this hospital system is, and yet she has to beg her family members for financial assistance just to be able to afford basic things like rent or to keep her visa and license to work eligible. The system is unacceptable. It's pushing residents to our breaking point. We're really at that breaking point right now. And if we try to be forward thinking, this hampers recruitment, retention efforts, like so many of my colleagues have already mentioned, the ability to continue staffing these hospitals with outstanding doctors and delivering world-class care is really what's at stake here. And so we're asking for your support on City Council to call on Mayor Adams to recognize that. H&H is the hospital for all you New Yorkers, and Mayor Adams wants to be the mayor for all New Yorkers. Well, we strongly encourage that he listen to the advice of his doctors and bargain with us in good faith and offer us a contract that will allow us to be the physicians that we aspire to be.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Dr. Fool Iqbal, please start. And on deck, we have Dr. Rosa Maria Robustelli. Thank you.
You may begin.
Hi. Hello, everyone. First of all, I'm really grateful for my colleagues who has done a great job in telling Mayor Adams that, yes, these are our rights. My name is Dr. Fool Iqbal, and I am resident at Metropolitan. As others have said, we can't wait for a fair contract. It's not about one single resident. It's about all of those who are having families, kids, and are on debt, who are supporting their families back home, those who are saving money for their children's education, and so on. It's also about the doctors who come after us, not only us, and those who are seniors to us, ensuring that doctors of all backgrounds, doctors who come out of the communities we serve, are able to live in New York City and work in this system without having to completely sacrifice their well-being, without having to scrape by with chronic financial stress, without having to delay their lives, having families simply because they work in H&H Hospital instead of one of our peer safety net institutions. It's about the future children we will deliver, the migrants of the future who will end up in this city, who will come to our hospitals because they have nowhere else to go. This may be just a brief story we are telling here, but we need the mayor and the administration to truly understand that what we are feeling. For me, coming as an immigrant and leaving my family behind without any support was a challenge. In addition to living in such an expensive city where everything you are living just paycheck to paycheck, skipping your meals, not buying anything to save money, not celebrating birthdays to save money, not traveling to see your family to save money. That is just about saving money and nothing else. And this makes us all overwhelmed. Doctors like the ones testifying here today should be able to thrive in H&H system, dedicated doctors, doctors of color, doctors who are immigrants. It should be a beacon to doctors like us the way it is a beacon to our communities.
Thank you.
But how we
expired.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. And Dr. Rosa Maria Robustelli, when you're ready, please go ahead.
You may begin.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you everyone for listening to our testimonies today. I'm Dr. Rosa Maria Robustelli, and I'm a resident at Lincoln and a proud CIR member. Another resident who could not testify today has asked me to read their story. I quote, "During my first year, I was able to pay rent within my means as expected by following a budget. Second year, my rent did not increase because I negotiated that with my landlord. Since I am clean, do not bother him and pay on time. But regardless, I've barely been able to keep up with rent this year because of other expenses that have increased like crazy. For example, my groceries increased about 12%. The nearby laundromat wash went from $275 to $350. Everything in my budget Excel sheet is increasing at rates higher than the pay increase I had between residency years, which is based on an expired old contract. This month, I was notified my rent will be increasing $300 a month in May to a total of $3,600 monthly of my post-tax salary. That increase in cost of living is just rent. Pre-taxes, I would need well over $3,600 in pre-tax pay, closer to about $5,000 to cover the cost. It is impossible for me and others to keep up where we're getting paid in 2021 rates when it's 2024. What's similarly egregious is that the current proposed city H&H proposal, about 3% a year increases, are significantly below the rates of inflation during this time period, meaning they expect us to take a hit to an already low quality of life. I'm trapped because I cannot afford that much of a rent increase, and at the same time, moving will cost a significant amount of money, a broker's fee, moving van, etc. I'm struggling a lot, and so are my co-residents. At this point, I'm actively telling friends and prospective students to avoid New York City for residency because of rising costs. Without rising pay is unlivable and anxiety-inducing. This resident story is not unique. We are all struggling. We are all living in a state of stress. If we can afford our bills now, we wonder if we'll be able to go when our rent goes up, if we get another unexpected expense. It doesn't have to be this way. The administration must support us, and Mayor Adams must agree to a fair contract right away. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. We sincerely apologize for needing to rush through public testimony, particularly for so many healthcare providers who made time to be here. However, we're committed to hearing all testimony, so we'd like to note that written testimony will be reviewed in full by committee staff, and it can be submitted to the record for up to 72 hours after the close of this hearing. You can email it to testimony@council.nyc.gov. I will now turn it over to the chair for her closing remarks. Thank you.
First, I want to say thank you to all the doctors, all the residents that took their time to be here, and all the supporters, all the unions. Thank you. For the committee staff, you've been awesome. Ria Ogazanwara, which I'm going to try my best not to butcher your name. Legislative Council, thank you. Manur Butt, which is Legislative Policy Analyst, thank you. Melissa Nunes, Senior Data Scientist, thank you. James Wu, Data Scientist, thank you. Risa Roda, Data Scientist, thank you. Danielle Klintz, Financial Analyst. Florentin Cabarro, Finance Unit Head, the head of the chief. My Chief of Staff, Sayed Joseph, Deputy Chief, Frank Chase, Scheduler, Stephanie Lynn, Director of Consumer Services, Irina Klevner, Alina Tanisha, and all the Sergeant at Arms. Thank you so much for the time. And now we're finished for the session.